We bring
What's
you
up,
this,
losers?
bruh. Why'd you do that? Why'd you do it?
Because I knew you were gonna read a fake ad, so I interrupted you on purpose.
Like always. Is
We
that
bring you
just
this
your thing?
message.
Is that your
Wait.
thing every season? You just read a fake ad?
That's
We
not.
can't get a
wait,
real one.
It's actually.
Every season, every
Can't get it
episode.
Damn, Ray.
Yeah, but he has
Grooky
like
gang,
a
grooky
new...
gang, grooky 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 gang.
We bring you this program brought to you by Kellogg's.
What the fuck are you talking?
Really?
This is gonna be good. This tops off last weekend's intro.
Dude, I just ate a bowl of Fruity Pebbles. That's not Kellogg's.
That's not Kellogg's. What's that?
Why'd you have to?
Exactly.
That's Metro
Why did you
Goldwyn-Mayer,
mention
right?
that?
What? No, that's General Mills.
All right, so
No,
this is
not
Team
even- no,
Triforce
that's
podcast.
That's
That's Blue Squid, Red Squid, Isaac, and me. There you
I
go.
love how you said the Team Triforce podcast.
Let's do proper intros.
All
Lawrence
right,
is
everybody. So,
Bringing back the Team Triforce.
dun, dun. All right, guys, what's up? My name is Royal De Lorenzo. I'm the Blue Squid here on the Inkling Bros podcast.
Oh man, I guess the the Team Triforce podcast really is dead.
Yeah, it's dead. It don't exist anymore.
My name is Ray, also known as Meatloaf Man. I am the Purple Squid on the Inkling Bros podcast.
Why are you known as Meatloaf Man? Do you like making meatloafs? Do you like eating them?
I've never had meatloaf a day in my life.
That's
lived
false
for it.
advertising in your name. Then I'm suing.
It was
Damn.
inspired by Ernest Borgnine.
I'm
Damn,
still suing.
Eric coming at everybody with the heat.
Just
What
sorry
up?
for what? What did you pay for?
No, I'm suing for false advertisement.
Oh
I
my
thought
God.
you were
No,
either a
you
maker
didn't
of
buy
meatloaf or a
anything.
lover of meatloaf, and you're neither.
All right, Isaac.
Isaac, you can.
I'm sorry.
I'm just waiting for them to finish.
Bruh, we're done. Your turn.
Yeah, we finished. Already.
What up? It's Samurai, aka the Red Squid.
And I'm. What am I again? Oh no, I'm Eric.
Leif Erikson Day. Yinga
I
hinga
am
gurga.
proud, and I am proud to be.
I did you just replace it with my name for that?
Yo, you know what though? Just a little side note. My sister turned on Family Guy on TBS today, and an episode came on, and it was actually one of those episodes where they acknowledged that Cleveland's gone from Quahog. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
miss Cleveland.
Oh my God.
Oh man,
So-
the Seth MacFarlane cinematic universe.
I wanted to have this
Family Guy
this
universe.
podcast to let everyone know that this is the last episode of the Inkling Brothers. I'm really kidding though.
Yeah, we're quitting after this. That's why this podcast is gonna be 24 hours long. Let's get ready.
Right?
folks.
There you go. This is
We
gonna
got
be
a
a charity
long way
live
to go.
stream.
Blue
Wait.
Squid actually has
It's the
several
last
class
episode,
action
so we just
lawsuits
keep
for not
going.
paying his taxes.
Sad.
So today's the last episode.
All right, y'all.
He's
So
committed tax fraud.
Yeah, like Yoshi.
let's get started with today's headlines. Dun, 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 dun. All right. So the Oscars were last week, and
I didn't
Fuck
watch
the
it.
Oscars.
yeah, I didn't care about it. But the only thing that I did care
Fuck 'em.
about is that Spider-Verse won Best Animated Feature.
Thank fuck.
Woo!
Thank fuck.
It was no contest to me. Even though I'll admit I haven't seen the Japanese animated films there, and I'm sure they're great. But Spider-Verse deserved to win.
Absolutely, I agree.
Right.
And also,
Especially since you had the whole stigma of like Pixar winning every year, because
Yeah.
like the Oscars doesn't really care for anime, and they even made fun of it in the beginning when they were like, "Oh, it's just animation's just the kiddie stuff." And I'm just like,
Yeah, I don't
bro,
know why that
we
freaking
ta-
culture is
remember when
still
we-
going.
Remember
yeah.
when we talked about this last week, like literally, and it showed up the next day in the Oscars?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then also another thing, Black Panther won Best Costume Design, Best Original Score, and Best Production Design. Unfortunately, it did not win Best Picture, but I think no one really expected it to win Best Picture anyways. So
Wait, what movie?
I don't.
Black Panther.
I'm still
Oh.
shocked that Black Panther was nominated for so much, especially for Best Picture. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that was a
really?
little-
Best
I-
movie? Okay.
It really
I'm
did end
cool.
racism, guys.
I'm cool. I'm cool with the fact that it's at the Oscars. At the same time, I can't help but feel that it's there for one reason and one reason only.
Because it
It's
ended
not
racism.
a secret. It's
You're
not
right.
a secret to everyone
Ended racism.
that Black
'Cause, like,
Panther,
we're-
while a great movie and while having a great message, is definitely kind of used like some sort of scapegoat to talk about like a lot of like problems in today's society.
I
I'm
noticed
just
that.
like, it's a superhero movie. Yes, it has some like you know, messages behind it, like political messages, especially at the end where he's talking about essentially saying like that, you know, we don't build walls and shit like that. But like,
couldn't be more on the nose. Subtlety, what's that?
yeah, and I'm just like, you know, I love it. I do. I really do.
You glove it?
No, I love
Donald
it. But at the
Glover?
end of the day, it is
Yeah. What?
it is a really cool, like, it's a superhero movie. It's a really cool superhero movie.
Yeah.
Like,
I just
So, like,
I
where-
also noticed
Where's
that
Infinity War's Oscar?
did Infinity War even get nominated for anything?
I think it got nominated for one of those like best production design ones, like
It got nominated for visual
For
effects.
Black Panther suit.
visual effects. Yeah. So really,
Okay.
All
nothing.
local
I mean,
content.
it's good, but like at the same time, it didn't get nominated for best picture.
Okay, wait, hold on. So Avengers, it got nominated for best visual effects, but that's it. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
crazy
much.
to me. I noticed that it wasn't the Oscars, but Black Panther won an award somewhere. I can't remember where before best visual effects, and I was so shocked by that because honestly, that was one of the weakest things in that movie to me were the effects. Like
It honestly
there were so many moments where the CG deadass looked like a PS3 game, like an early PS3 game.
Shit.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
No, and like it's true. Like
Shots fired.
there is one picture that like they use that like I look at and I'm just like, what the hell is this? You
Yeah,
know?
it looks really bad. Like
Which is why
Then again,
Infinity War gets nominated for visual effects. Thanos fucking dusted everything.
yeah, Infinity War definitely had great effects. Way better than Black Panther.
Everyone became dust. That's the best
Yeah.
part.
Yeah, that they said they had to animate every single piece of dust in that movie. Every single piece they had to like
Every
sit there and
So
like,
Tom Holland actually did turn to dust.
Yeah.
It's all real.
but it's like, see that look at this picture. People on the screen, you can't see it, but if you look up on the Wikipedia page, just scroll down to the pre-visualization section. I know it's pre-visualization, but come on, these look like PS3 graphics.
It really does. Like the CG in Black Panther was not great. I don't know why it somehow won on that front.
Yeah. I'll be like you said, you know, the visual effects in Infinity War were a lot better. Wait, Infinity War did win best visual effects, right?
No, it didn't.
No.
No.
Visual effects.
Oh, but it was
went to
nominated.
someone else.
Right,
It was
right.
nominated.
It was
but didn't
nominated.
win.
It did not win.
Right. Okay, so who won the
No, I'm just kidding.
who won the best visual effects?
Visual
one?
effects.
I don't
First
remember.
Man, which
First
is that
Man?
Ryan Gosling movie about space,
Oh.
based on Neil Armstrong.
Of course. You know why? Because it's about the moon landing. God.
I thought you were gonna say because Ryan Gosling was in it and he's irresponsibly good looking.
No, he is.
They just
I
gave
like
it
how
good
these
looking.
movies. I like how these movies keep winning for reasons that have nothing to do with the categories they're nominated for.
No,
I'm
exactly.
shocked that Bohemian Rhapsody won so many awards. At least because I remember hearing
when
that.
we heard that it sucked?
Well, I didn't hear that. I wasn't hearing that it was sucked, but I just heard that
I
it
didn't
could
hear
have been
that
a lot
either.
better as a biopic.
Oh
At least
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I heard.
No,
Yeah,
I
I
like I didn't.
Hear
I heard that it
either
was like
sucked. But
yeah.
The
I-
only thing I heard about it was okay, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, exactly.
The one thing I heard about it was that it was actually it was the mixing, the sound, and like how they were able to bring Queen's music and make it sound even more like amazing to hear today was pretty good, and the performance was pretty good too. Besides
Yeah.
that, I didn't hear too much about it.
I think
Yeah,
definitely
it won
like
4 awards.
like
That's
Rami
just
Malek. I do have to give him props. He really became
Yeah, Rami
like,
Malek killed it.
Freddie
I think he deserved the
Mercury.
Oscar.
Like
for sure.
honestly, he
And
that
he's really
that
good
yes.
as Mr. Robot.
Oh, he definitely deserved the Oscar. I won't say that he didn't. But I'm really surprised because when the movie first came out, it came out. I think it didn't perform as well, and it came out during this. I forget.
Didn't? Are you sure? I thought it made like almost $1 billion. What?
Yeah,
It-
I would double
like-
check that.
What?
No, it's so like in terms of like the ratings, right? Like it was like mixed. Like it was a mixed bag. It wasn't like critical acclaim kind of thing.
Yeah, I think I got like. I think when I saw it on Metacritic, it was like 60 something, 70 something.
Yeah, like it wasn't.
That.
It was good, but it wasn't like, it wasn't like, wow, what the hell? That's the most great film I've ever seen, and like it didn't have that effect on anyone. But it was good. But it was also kind of just like better than average at the same time. I haven't seen the movie myself. I'm sure I'll enjoy it because I love musicals and I love Queen. But, I think...
You got cut out there, so I thought you said, I'm sure I'm gonna love Queen. And I was like, you've never heard of Queen before?
No, I think I think I know maybe like 60% of their like most popular songs.
Probably.
But yeah, and it's like,
Name 5 of them.
all right, let's see.
Name 2 of their albums.
All right, let's
Oh,
see.
I can't even name 2 of them.
Another one bites the dust. We
Queen,
will
their
rock
debut
you.
album.
We are the champions.
I said albums.
Their album? I don't know their albums.
The
I know their
album!
songs.
What's that?
Radio Gaga and
Listen to
I
this
got
guy.
one.
What a cheater. Name
Oh,
their
of course,
albums. All right, let
Bohemian
me name their
Rhapsody. I didn't
songs.
even
Took
think
you
about
long
Bohemian
enough. I was
Rhapsody.
about to say it too.
That's the most
the
obvious
name
one.
of the fucking
That's what
movie,
this
and you
movie
struggle
was
with
called.
the last song. Queen fan. 60% by yes.
Well, no, it is 60%. I think. No, I do know like most of their songs though, but like a good amount of their like
All right,
popular
cool.
songs.
Since you did that, name 2 of their albums.
I don't know their albums.
Fake
I love
fan.
that I ask, name 2 of their albums. Lauren starts naming songs. Like, okay, that's
Because
not what I
asked him
asked.
name. He was like, "Oh, I know 60." All right, cool. Name 5 of them, and then you came at him with the 2 albums.
Just ignores
Yeah,
it.
well, since you know 60%, which is majority. Name
I
2
said
albums.
60% of their
Yeah.
most popular songs.
Oh,
Okay,
fuck you. Now you're
okay,
just like...
cool. So most
No, go
popular
back.
song-
Go, you guys can
No,
leave
go
and
back,
listen.
go-
maybe 12 songs.
Go back and listen to the recording.
So
It
name
said
2.
60% of their most popular songs. That's literally what it said on the
Name
record.
2 albums, jackass.
I don't know 2 albums.
Oh, come on! It's not that hard!
2 albums?
Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, it's
really
not that
can't.
hard. 2 albums!
I can't.
What is
name-
that?
I mean,
Lawrence, I'm gonna make it real easy for you. One's called Queen, another one's called Queen 2.
I didn't even know that. See?
Wait, really? There's a Queen.
Idiot. Idiot.
I really didn't even
Oh
know
my
that.
god, they only had like 20. How could I possibly name 2?
I can't. I didn't. I see. But here's the thing.
I'm saying you're
See, here's my thing. Every time like I listen to Queen, I listen to their songs. I don't know their albums. Like I've never bought any of their albums.
Well, to
I've
be
never
fair, he is
seen
right.
their albums.
One of them is named Queen. You could have just gone with that.
No,
and
no,
said the other one I forgot.
No, what got me is that this guy acted like naming 2 albums is such a crazy hard thing. There's like
I
15
didn't. But
of
I
them.
actually don't know any.
No,
of their
you
albums.
absolutely
He-
did. Run
he
the
could
tape.
just probably not know like. The
No,
albums and just
go
know the
ahead,
songs.
run the tape. It says that I first said that I like 60% of their most
Bro, I'm
popular
not talking
songs. That I knew 60%
Oh my
of their
God.
most popular
No,
songs.
no,
I never
Lauren,
mentioned
Lauren,
their album.
Wrap up the podcast, because
I never mentioned their
No,
albums.
right, that's all
No,
I'm
no,
trying to
no,
ask.
no. I
Thank you for
said-
listening.
No, I said naming 2 albums is not hard, and you reacted like, well, naming 2? And I'm like, well, yeah, it's only 2 out of like 15. That's what I'm
Right,
talking about.
but for me,
Do you
I
see this
didn't.
guy? Do you
Right,
see
but
this
for
guy
me,
right
I
now?
don't.
You also could have low-key just pull up a
For me,
Wikipedia
I didn't.
article.
But for me, I don't even
Low-key?
know 2 of their albums.
No, you just acted like it was so hard. It's like, it's not that hard. There's so many of them to choose
Watch
from.
the listeners be in the comments like, all right, here's the 2 Queen albums, you jackass.
And I love that the guy's like, nah, man, no. If you run the tape, I said that I know 60% of their most popular songs. Like, that's not what I'm talking about at all. Oh God. But yeah,
Tape.
Bohemian Rhapsody. There you go.
Good movie. Well, I haven't seen it, but amazing performance by Rami Malek. Well done, well deserved Oscar. And oh yeah, shout out, he's Egyptian too. So Arabs in cinema.
Hey.
Hashtag Arabs in cinema.
Yeah, the other thing. So like what Ray was saying about these movies winning awards for things they don't really deserve. I feel like just short thoughts on it. The Oscars have become really political. Like, and it's not a new thing. It's been political for a while, especially since like if you go back to different Oscars where movies like Argo won Film of the Year. This year they had like 5 or 6 awards go to women of color. It's very political. Like, but I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I just feel like the Oscars have become political.
Yeah, no, you're not.
Yeah, I feel you. I don't know, it doesn't really feel worth it to just keep tuning in. Like I did not tune into the Oscars this year. I only just caught like about 10 minutes of it, and it wasn't even for the Spider-Verse part. I just found out about it on Twitter because like personally, the night of the Oscars, I was just like, all right, I'll find out whoever wins the animation category when it starts trending because that's just how I'll know.
I don't watch
And-
the Oscars because they're too long. They're like almost like 3.5
That's the other
hours.
thing.
This year was actually
Yeah.
pretty interesting how they did it. So they didn't have a host, so they just swapped between different moderators.
Yeah, that's right.
And for some reason,
Kevin Hart dropped out of it.
yeah, for some reason, I don't know why, it just felt rushed. Like things were going really fast towards where like by the first hour they had gone through. If they had gone through, I guess most of the awards already, but because there were so many people on stage, it felt like they were running way too fast.
Really? Are you the only one who watched it from us?
I don't know. Lawrence, did you watch it?
He's not here right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I mean I watched it with my family. I tuned in maybe like 10 minutes after it started. From like what I got, and then from what I saw, a friend of mine tweet saying Oscars feels too rushed. They should have had a host. It feels like it's running through too fast, and
I guess
like swapping
I
between hosts is like way too quick. That's what it felt like because basically every like
because usually
every
like the
award had
Oscars.
Sorry, go ahead, Ray.
Yeah, I was just gonna say because usually when there's like an actual host for the Oscars, they usually give them like some time to do a bit of stand up, talk to the audience about something for like 5 minutes, and then move on to the next thing.
Yeah, so it feels like there's a flow to it because there were swapped hosts this time around. It just felt like they were running through each award, like all right, on to the next one, on to the next one. So it wasn't. I don't think it was like a bad format of anything. I mean, honestly, I don't care, but it just felt like it was rushed to a point where it's like, okay, like we're really just burning through everything. And I didn't really see all. The other thing too is like I felt like this year we saw a lot of movies, but most of the movies we saw weren't even up on the Oscars, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. So like, what movies did we see that were actually nominated?
Infinity
I know you guys
War.
saw a couple that I didn't see too. So Infinity War, Black
Black
I saw
Panther,
Black Panther,
Spider-Verse, Incredibles.
Spider-Verse.
Incredibles. Yeah,
I missed The Incredibles, but that didn't win an award.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was nominated.
What else did we see?
We didn't see Bohemian Rhapsody. We didn't see the that Neil Armstrong film.
Yeah,
we
no,
didn't see that other. There were like 2 British films that got nominated this year that we didn't even see. 3, if you count Return of Mary Poppins.
Did that get nominated for something?
Yeah, I got nominated for like a good couple of awards, like best set design, best, I think, not too sure.
Oh, wow.
Costume design for sure.
Oh wow, okay.
It was
I'm
up
guessing
for a
it
good
didn't win
amount of
anything.
What movie?
I'm guessing it didn't win anything.
No, most of the awards went to, because like I said, because of the, I guess, I hate saying because of politics, but like Oscars gave most of their awards with some political like message to it, because they invited, like, so they had how many movies that were nominated had either a majority black cast or like a black black crew, right? Because they had 3 films, I think, like The Green Book, Black Panther, and then Black Klansman. Those 3 movies kind of swept the Oscars. Like, when I say swept, I mean most of the other awards, like most of the non-actor or non-best director or best screenplay awards were given to those, except for best screenplay. Best screenplay went to Black Klansman. All the other awards went to Black Panther Black Panther. Black Panther won for best, I think it won for best set design, and it won some other award that it won because 3 of the actresses that were not 3 of the actresses, 3 of the awards went to women of color. So that was like the Oscars political message, saying like, oh, okay, we're highlighting these people this year, which I think is not bad, but it's like, it would have been cooler to see one of those films take away like best screenplay, which it did, and like see some of the other movies if that was the motive of the Oscars. Because honestly speaking, besides Black Panther, I didn't see any of these other movies, so I don't know how good they were.
I know Mahershala Ali won.
Oh
another
yeah, he won Best Supporting
Oscar.
Actor.
Yeah, he won Best Supporting Actor in 2017 as well.
For Moonlight.
Yeah, for Moonlight.
I thought
And
that
now
was
he won it
2018.
again. Was that 2018? It might have
last
been.
year?
It might have been. I might be misremembering, but yeah, he won Best Supporting Actor for Moonlight as well, and now he's won another one.
I do think you're right. It probably was 2017. Damn, 2 years ago. What the fuck? I thought it was last year.
Yeah, I know, right?
Holy
it feels
shit.
like last year.
I could have sworn that it was last year, because wasn't last year when the Oscars, like, they fucked up and then they had somebody go out on stage and say Moonlight won Best Picture and not lost?
Yeah, I don't think it was last year. Was that last year?
Oh no, wait, it was 2 years ago actually, I think.
Holy shit, dude!
Yeah.
The only reason I thought it was last year is because Stefan Carlson passed away, and somebody memed that photo by putting Lazy Town on the letter.
Yeah.
They changed the words Moonlight and put Lazy Town. So you see the guy
Lazy Town on the letter.
Lazy
Town. Stefan, and they put his name on it too, Stefan Carlson.
Stefan Carlson. Oh man, rest in peace. Yeah, I could have sworn that shit was last year. Holy fuck, it was 2 years ago.
Nah, apparently, yeah, it was 2 years ago. That
means Moonlight came out and might have came out in 2016, because that was 2017 of February.
Fuck, it didn't feel like Moonlight was that long ago.
Are you serious? Wait, when did Moonlight come out? 2016. God damn.
Oh damn.
3 years ago.
3 years.
3 years. Wait, so then are you telling me I can't even remember Oscars from last year then?
Yeah, I can't either. I really can't.
Who was the host? Tyler Perry?
Oh god.
Oh, it was Jimmy Kimmel. Oh, yeah. That's right. The Shape of Water won most awards.
Oh right.
Jordan Peele, Best Original
movie.
Screenplay went to Get Out. Jordan Peele won that award.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Best Song went to Remember Me from Coco, yeah.
Yep. Makes sense.
Shape of Water. Dunkirk. Dunkirk was that movie with Shia LaBeouf, right?
Dunkirk? No, it was not with Shia LaBeouf. It was the Nolan movie
with Shia LaBeouf?
No, it was the Christopher Nolan war film, if you remember. It had one of the
I didn't see it.
It had one of the people from One Direction in it. That's one thing I remember.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So last year, most awards went to The Shape of Water, Dunkirk. A lot of awards went to Dunkirk. The Darkest Hour went to Gary Oldman. Holy shit! What?
What?
That's so weird because I saw The Darkest Hour last year. So how did Gary Oldman win the? I could have sworn I saw.
Wait, Darkest Hour? What? Isn't that a movie from like 2011?
You might be thinking of Zero Dark 30.
Maybe.
No, Darkest Hour was a biopic about Winston Churchill, and it was a Gary Oldman played like the role of Winston Churchill, but that movie was nominated and it won best actor for Gary Oldman. But fuck, I don't even remember seeing it. I probably didn't see it. That's why I can't remember it. Yeah, that explains it. I didn't see last year's Oscar. Yeah, I just didn't see it. Yeah. Oh wow, Blade Runner 2049 was up for nominations too. Then I definitely didn't see it because I didn't know Blade Runner 2049 won an Oscar.
Good for it at least. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Deserves that.
Yeah. You know what's also kind of cool? You ever notice how every year at the Oscars there's a Mexican film director that wins some sort of award?
Is that a thing?
It's definitely a thing, or has been a thing for the last like couple of years at the Oscars. Because this year, was it like Best Director went to forgot his name. I'm gonna remember his name, but it went to the director for Roma, which is this Mexican film, which is directed by a guy who is a director who made the movie about his childhood in Mexico City. So he won Best Director, and then last year, a special achievement award went to another Mexican director, Iñárritu, or some other movie. And the year before that, Birdman won. That was also from a Mexican director. So it's like it's a series. And then Gravity in like 2017 won, or 2016, I forgot what year it came out. Also by Mexico. And then Guillermo del Toro, also a Mexican director, won a bunch of awards for Shape of Water in 2018. So it's a cycle of like awards.
Damn. Okay. I did not know that.
You know who else is a Latino?
Man, look who's back.
You know who else is a Latino director who
who
I think butchered a really good idea / movie? Armando Gutierrez, also known as the director of The Little Mermaid from 2018.
Oh my god.
No, I'm not going to go
I
there.
did not see that.
What is with you with that movie?
That movie is my shame.
I didn't even see that movie.
Oh, good. Take 2 hours,
Good.
watch it, and just realize why it's such a bad movie.
Damn.
Realize.
It's got a rating. It's got a solid 2.5 on IMDb.
It's bad.
Surprised it's a
Sure, it's fine.
Sorry, I said 2.5. It's got a solid 4.2 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
Hey, look, I'm not like personally.
What was the fucking
I think
subcaption
it's
of this trailer
terrible. Okay,
water's fine?
but if people
The water's
think
fine.
it's good and whatever, go for it. Have fun with it. But
wait.
I personally did not like it because of reasons I mentioned in a previous podcast, but in a previous episode, what was it, 2 episodes ago, where I ranted
I
about
don't know.
how bad this movie is? Yeah.
I think Ray said that you were being too harsh on it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, that was me. My bad.
Eric forgot for a second who said, damn, lighten up, it's just a Disney movie.
It's not even a
The
Disney
funny
movie.
thing, it's not. It's not a Disney movie.
It's not a Disney movie.
It's not owned by Disney?
No.
Well, they don't own
Was
the
this
fairy
not
tale.
one of the Disney remakes?
No, it's not. They're
Literally,
making that,
there's
but
a
this isn't it.
Polygon article I know Polygon, I'm sorry, but I have to bring it up. Literally, when you asked, wait, it's not a Disney movie? Look at the first few look at the preview sentences for that movie. No, it's not.
I'm just straight up looking at the companies tied to it.
Yeah.
What the fuck is Conglomerate Kingsway Production?
Anyway, it says, no, it's not
Something.
a Disney movie.
That's unimportant.
Anyways.
Well, one of the reviews I'm seeing, the reason why I asked if this movie is because one of the audience reviews on, I don't know, like Google's just showing audience reviews. The first one says, now I love Disney movies, The Lion King being my fave. So one fateful day I was just browsing around Netflix and then this review just trashes it. But yeah, this is why I thought it was...
Yeah.
It says 56% of people liked it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Google users. But yeah, no,
Maybe
I'm
you're just
like,
being harsh.
I'm not like, like I said, if people really liked it,
It's fine to admit that it's a shitty movie.
No, it
Relax.
is I personally think it's a shitty movie, but if people actually like it, I'm not gonna go for it. It's
You like this shit?
I mean, look,
You
like
sicken me. Spits onto the floor next to him and then walks away.
Next
yeah.
you're going to tell me is you eat hot dogs without a dog, just a bun.
That's not even a hot dog. That's just bread.
Just bread at that
There
point.
you go. Same group of people that like The Little Mermaid.
Yeah. Speaking of the same group of people that like this version of Little Mermaid, Fortnite lost a lot of revenue last month.
What the hell? What's with your hate on Fortnite?
Also,
All
what
right,
the fuck?
before
How does
My
it tie
nephews.
into
What kind of segue is that? Also, my
Before-
nephews
Bro,
play
whoa.
Fortnite.
It was honestly, I was just thinking of some funny segue. I don't really hate Fortnite
not
that
a
I
much.
think it's funny
Segue.
on how unrelated it is. Disney movies and Oscars.
Also, before we actually get into that, I just want to say, have you guys seen that the sticker that's going around in Best Buy stores or whatever it is, where
Oh, the yeah, I
for
know what
Wreck-It
you're
Ralph
talking about.
2,
Yeah.
where it says
Oh, the thing I showed
Oscar-winning
you?
animated
Yeah.
film. Yeah.
Yeah,
Academy
Disney, I guess,
Award
got really cocky, and they printed out like a winner of like best animated feature at the
Before they
Academy
won,
Awards.
right?
Before they
Before
won,
they-
and I guess those stickers went out. So now they just look really silly because they lost to Sony.
Even John C. Riley tweeted about it. It's like, oops.
What a bunch of assholes.
At least he's being, funny about it.
He's
You
being
know,
funny about it.
Yeah.
This is why I love seeing Disney crumble.
What is your hate boner for Disney? What the hell is this?
Seriously.
I don't know.
This is why I love seeing Disney crumble. Oh, I gotta go see Moana.
Zootopia, guys.
Zootopia was good.
Kingdom Hearts.
Remember when that was a meme when we all wanted to go see it multiple times?
Yeah, because
Even though
Henry
we never
saw it
did.
a million times, and we were like, let's see it again, Henry.
Yeah.
I only saw it once, if I can recall.
I only saw it once too, but Henry
Yeah,
saw it like
only
3
once.
times.
And I was just
I've
like,
seen
hey,
it.
y'all want to go see Zootopia?
I've seen
What
it
if it's
twice,
still
but
there?
like every time was a rerun on TV.
I think one
What
thing
if
I
it's
will
still there?
admit, is that Little Mermaid movie is going to do better on like even if like when Disney does the inevitable live action Little Mermaid,
They've already said they were.
Yeah. like once they do that, like I'm sure it'll be better because it'll still be based on the story that they have done in the past. Whether or not it's going to
I
be
thought you were about to say that it was going to be based on the Hans Christian Andersen book. Because I was like, lol, no.
like,
That ain't
at
happening.
the very
They're not
least,
killing off Ariel at the
At
end.
the very least, it's still going to be based on the story that they told a long time ago, which is fine.
In 1989, yeah.
Like, if they tell that story, is going to be probably a lot better than this one. Like, I was scrolling when I first saw this movie, there was an article that says, when this movie was first coming out, Disney versus Netflix, who will do the Little Mermaid live action better? And I was just like, oh, absolutely Disney will do it better because they have the money. Even if it's not going to be as good as the original, it's still going to be better than that trash.
Damn. Harsh.
I just, like, I honestly just can't with that movie because it really, disappointed me a lot because I guess I really expected it to be. I didn't really have any expectations walking in, but like when I watched it, it just really like. I don't know. I just didn't feel like I saw so many bad things happening. I was just like, wait, what the hell was that? Why did you do that? Why didn't you just do this? Come on!
I love that some things he consumes, he turns his brain off completely and is just oblivious to all the flaws. Other times, he just goes all like Roger Ebert on us and just critically analyzes it to hell and back. So weird. So fucking weird. You need to pick your priorities better.
I just don't know, like, well, what is it with that movie? Like, the special effects are not good. That's something that, like, is actually worrying. You know, like, it seemed to, like, be a movie with a budget. It
didn't have much of a budget.
It didn't have
like
much
$5
of a budget,
million.
but, like, you know, at one point in the movie, it literally looks like camcorder footage. You know,
Maybe
and
it was.
This is like at the end, right?
Maybe
like
it was.
at the end of the movie, like they're in the water, and they're just like, hey, like, yeah, we're gonna kiss now, yeah, and it's like really weird. I was like, did you take this on a GoPro? What's going on here? But yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure Disney's gonna do it better. Just because they've, like, regardless of whether or not it's gonna be, like, it's not gonna be better than the original. We all can come to that agreement. But I know it's gonna be.
I just want to know where's this hate boner for Disney coming from?
Oh, that's the whole like live action like films thing. Like I'm really like I. Like
You didn't mention that. You were just going on about Disney
like
in general.
What was this? This was probably like 2 podcasts ago that I literally said like I love seeing like Disney fail because they think they can run shit around here. You know? Like it is like when big companies try to say that they run shit. Like every time that Apple comes and sues Samsung for quote unquote stealing their idea. Who
is Disney sued though?
I'm not saying they sue. I'm just like that's just my example. That like.
Well, what are they doing to show that they they run shit or whatever?
Because you see like they're trying to buy out all these properties, like trying to be like, you know, I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to like be strategic, quote unquote, right? Like they're trying to rake in dollars at this point, right? And it's so obvious, and it's like that's not the kind of Disney I think that we grew up with, you know? Like, I used to believe that Disney was this, like, magic family-friendly, like, company that I used to love, and, like, I actually thought it was, like, magical. And now it's, like, every time they fucking, like, want to, they say, hey, you know what, let's release a live-action XYZ movie that we that we can do. Why the hell not? And it always disappoints the people who were fans of the original because it's just not as good. Like, but it's okay. It's like mediocre. And it's like it bothers me because the movies that used to come out, like even like, you know, the original Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella, all these stories, like yes, they changed the story, but they were still like classics, you know? There's a reason they have this thing called the Disney Vault, right? Like I know it's a fake vault.
The Disney Vault.
But like people
It's
like,
not a vault shaped in Mickey Mouse's emblem.
Yes, actually. But like
Lucky emblem.
The they showed an animation. There's no real such thing as a Disney Vault because they keep saying like the Little Mermaid is going back or whatever is going back to the Disney Vault and you have 2 weeks to act before it goes back. Yeah, exactly.
Remember those commercials?
And it's like yeah, exactly. Those exact same commercials and like it'd be like 2015 and I'm playing that same DVD. I'm like, so is the Disney Vault closed now or some shit? You know, because they used to put that like those commercials in the beginning of those DVDs.
Why would you put them back in a vault?
How about you open your Disney Vault and bring back those VHS?
And see, that's my thing, right? Like,
why don't you release Song of the South again?
Oh my god.
Fun story about that. They absolutely sell that movie, by the way, but in other countries.
Oh yeah.
I've seen it in DR.
Oh really?
And when I found it, I was like, "What the fuck? No way!" But yeah, it's Song of the South.
That's a racist movie.
They don't sell it in the U.S., but they'll sell it in other countries.
Oh my god. Produced by Walt Disney.
To be fair, I don't blame them for that. I mean, it was different times, and I
Yeah,
don't think that
1940.
it's the same company.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no.
it's just kind of funny to me that they're like, "No, we're never taking this out of the vault unless you're a third world country. Then we absolutely will take it out of the vault."
Yeah, I think it's just because like other countries just have like their own like standards, I guess. But see, that's my thing, right? Like those sorts of movies, like the very original, like Beauty and the Beast, like we can't all say we love them. Aladdin, we loved it, you know. Like go ahead, you can make your own ranking as to how you feel about like the Disney movies. But honestly, like those were good, and then seeing them. Like, I know we haven't seen yet what the Aladdin movie is coming out, or even the Dumbo movie that's coming out in a few weeks, right? Or
It's coming out in a few weeks.
yeah, literally, it's March now. Oh, happy March, everybody! It's March. And it's coming out in a few weeks.
Holy shit! It's coming out at the end of March.
And then Lion King is coming out in the summer, and it's like I loved Lion King, and now I'm gonna hate it.
I can't wait to see Animal Planet.
I'm gonna love the original, but I'm gonna hate the live action because it's
Lion King makes the least amount of sense to me
does.
because it's all animals. Like there's no humans like in Jungle Book. Like it's all animals, but obviously they're not going to be filming real animals. It's all
Yeah.
CG. So I'm like, it's still technically animated, sort of, kind of. It's just even more pointless than the other live action remakes.
Absolutely. And I think, what makes the most sense and what, like, it kind of relates to my point is that they're releasing Frozen 2 at the end of the year, right? Everyone saw the amazing trailer. Everyone saw that moment where Elsa shows her feet, right? And that's like, that is kind of, I think at this point Disney, before they started releasing their live action stuff, kind of built their reputation as like, yeah, we don't release live action stuff really all that much unless it's going to the Disney Channel, which by the way, Kim Possible, that movie came out like the other day. That live action movie? Yeah. They showed it on Disney Channel. I got a chance.
Was it good?
I caught the last 10 minutes of it and I can't say I enjoyed it. It was.
I mean, you only saw 10 minutes to be fair.
Yeah, I'm not judging the entire thing, but I was just like, wow, that's what they did to that. I forgot. What
Holy
the name of the
shit! Also, by the way, it didn't come out yesterday. It came out in like February 15th.
Yeah,
apparently.
a few weeks ago, yeah.
But according to this, the premiere only attracted 1.24 million viewers, making it the lowest-rated Disney Channel original movie premiere of the last decade.
Yeah, and I saw Lemonade Mouth. Damn.
What? I thought that had a big premiere.
Yeah, exactly. But
What kind of comparison is that?
No, but
then?
like compared
What?
to like something like Cheetah Girls or Hannah Montana. Hannah Montana.
That was in theaters.
Or no, Cheetah Girls. The
No,
first Cheetah
Hannah
Girls.
Montana was in theaters.
No, yeah, I know. But the first High School Musical movie and the second one, like, I mean, those were considered like the golden days of Disney Channel original movies, and then they had like a bunch of movies that followed up with it, that tried to be as good,
Did you know there was supposed to be a Lemonade Mouth sequel, but never happened?
I'm surprised. I thought they would have made one.
Well, apparently
The
they were
guitarist
going
was so
to at
hot.
first. Huh?
That guitarist, whoever the actor was for the guitarist in the band, like the electric guitar player, she was hot.
Oh, I remember her. Yeah, she was hot.
But yeah, that's pretty much my thing, like, even like this Kim Possible movie, like, I see, like, this entire thing, what they're trying to do. I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to attract the older crowd back to them, right? The people who grew up of Disney, right?
This is not how you do that.
This
I don't
isn't.
think
No,
this is
it's
meant at all
not.
for the original fan. I don't think this is meant at all for the original fan.
No, like,
I don't think
A live
any original
action
fan
movie of
even
the show
watched
that ended more than 10
that
years ago?
movie.
what the
Yeah.
Kim Possible movie?
Hell yeah.
No,
Unless
I
I
don't
don't
their
think
kids
anyone
were
watched
watching
it.
I think
Unless
a lot
you
of
I
people
didn't see anyone
hated
talk
it.
about it.
Unless you had kids and you wanted to show them what Kim Possible was without, for some reason, I don't know why, without like showing them the original show, this is the only way, and I can't imagine why.
Yeah.
But like, I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know. I'm just saying, like, that's the only audience I think that would actually have watched it. So it makes sense why they had such a low viewership. But
Right. No, but like, see,
haven't
that's
seen
my
the movie.
thing. Like, even if you like, what I'm saying is that was their target, right? Their target were people that actually like grew up with, like, for example, like Impossible, and in the case of the movies, people that grew up with like Lion King, Aladdin, Dumbo, like watching them while they were, kids, and now they like have to, you know deal with the fact that like these kids grew up and they don't want to see, like, they want to see what they saw growing up, but Disney's like, nah, we'll just make it quote unquote better, and like in that same like vein, the same way that Eric was talking about the 1.2 million viewers, it makes a specific mention that, like, got a 0.22 rating for people aged 18 to 49, which, I mean, it makes it seem like that was like their target audience, right? The people which, if you look at that age, those are the people that were like in middle school and like elementary school, early high school, when Kim Possible was on Disney Channel during the golden days of Disney Channel. That's kind of my thing. Like, I remember there was a time when, like, I used to watch, like, Cartoon Network was never really my like thing during this time period. It was mostly Disney Channel and it was Nickelodeon, right? Like, I would watch Drake and Josh and iCarly, and then I would move back to Disney Channel, watch Hannah Montana, watch That's So Raven, Cory in the House, Best Anime, and I would watch Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, which is my favorite, and all this
Anime
other stuff. Right. And
Hannah Montana.
And it was like that was like my what I considered the golden age, and also like that was a time like Toon Disney was still around, so like I would occasionally watch the
before
Toon
it
Disney
became
shows.
Disney XD.
And then when they did that, I stopped watching Disney and like Disney XD, and I started watching. Like,
I hate that new like channel name, because when you type it to a friend, it's like, yeah, I'm watching Disney XD.
It's like
people
Disney-
misconstrue and they're like, I'm watching Disney, lol. Because of the
Yeah,
fucking face
exactly.
it makes.
Yeah,
Disney XD Gale of Dark.
I don't know. Like, I want to hear what you guys have to think, because I've been ranting about how like Disney's.
Yeah, you've been
really,
going on for a while. Jeez.
like how Disney, like, just kind of like Disney's plans and how they're like failing at it. How I think they're failing at it. Like, financially, financially, they're succeeding, right? Because they're raking in the money. Doesn't matter to them. They're making more than they bargained for, right? Like, they put down a certain money as their budget, right? And that's the thing about Disney. They can settle for mediocrity because they know they're going to get the money. They know people are going to take their kids to go see this movie. Same thing with Star Wars. Like, I'm not going to say that Star Wars Episode 8 was my favorite movie, like Star Wars movie, because it isn't. It just really isn't. But because it's a Star Wars movie, it still did good. Right? But if we're talking about, like, going in there and saying, like, it was, And then we talked about this last week with Ant-Man and the Wasp. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Man.
like, the story's good, but it definitely is not our favorite Marvel movie. The only reason people want to go watch it because it's a Marvel movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and because it tells the story of what happens next. Now I'm gonna open the floor. Go for it.
Jeez, you went on for so long.
Go
the
for
hell? I did not think that little joke would spark all this.
Well, sorry.
All right.
Go for it.
Which
Jesus.
joke was it again? I forgot.
I was making a joke on how he is all like, I love seeing Disney burn, but yet this guy will eat shit up when they release something that he likes and just talk about it for forever, like Moana when that came out. And then he just goes on for like 20 minutes talking about all this stuff, mentioning Disney Channel. I'm like, God damn. I wasn't even referring to this.
I clearly have had some like problems. And I
sound like,
no, because like I
sound like
really
some 40-year-old
like I think
father complaining about his daughter watching
this is something
way too
that
much Disney Channel.
this is something I talked about
You
last
watch
week with
Disney Channel?
you.
What are you,
like
retarded?
with you guys, I talked about this last week that I find like media studies very interesting, right? And I want to see like, I am like interested in seeing how other people view like, this idea of like I really don't know how to describe it, but essentially like commercial like commercial media making, right? Like everyone knows that like the idea of like of producing media is not to like like it is in many cases, yes, it is to make like a buck or two, right? But in many cases it's also a form of like expression and like telling a story, even if it's a fictional one, and seeing if people can relate, people enjoy it, right? But I just don't think I see that anymore from this company, and like that's something that I really like I'm struggling with to like try and like put together. That's why I want to see what you guys think, because that's something that I think of kind of very often, just like how do other people really view the situation?
Okay. Simple joke leads to this deep, almost philosophical conversation. Did not expect that, but okay. I mean, I guess all I can really say is like, look, I don't think Disney's perfect at all. I don't think anyone does. I mean, when it comes to Disney Channel, I gave up on that channel forever ago. Because Disney making a channel, just a whole channel just on Disney, you would expect a lot of animated stuff, and there really wasn't. It was mostly live action stuff, and I liked some of the live action stuff, but when you think Disney, primarily you think of the animated stuff, even though they do a lot of live action stuff too, arguably even more. It's just, it doesn't help that they eventually phased out Toon Disney for Disney XD, and even on there, while there's still some animated cartoons that they put on there, they still occasionally do live action stuff on there too, and I'm like, what was the point of this second channel if you're still doing live action stuff here? Like, well, why get rid of Toon Disney and basically just have like a second Disney channel here? It's just weird. But TV stuff, I always agree with what people say in that it's a little scary just how much they're buying out. I mean, they bought out Marvel, they bought out ESPN before Marvel, they bought out Star Wars, they're buying out Fox now. It's it's ridiculous the amount of stuff they've acquired now, to the point where it'll get to a point where like most movies coming out are in some way owned by Disney, and that's a huge monopoly that obviously we shouldn't want, which is why it was kind of annoying when Disney got that Fox merger down, and most people were just like, oh my god, yes, Fantastic Four and X-Men in the MCU. It's like, I get it. It'd be cool to see them in that universe, but at the same time, I felt like too many people just ignored the bigger picture here. Like,
yeah, like the
that
larger
Disney's,
like Fox
yeah,
properties and all that.
Disney just continues to just become a insanely huge monopoly. But I mean, look, as much as I will absolutely acknowledge their faults like that, I'm not going to deny that I still love me some good Disney stuff, and that's why I fucking brought up the joke.
Yeah. No,
because
look, I
like,
agree.
Oh
no,
man,
no.
down with Disney, down with that mouse, behead him. And then like Moana 2 comes out, and you're talking about it for like 3 months.
No. Look, I'm actually really sad because I didn't get a chance to see Mary Poppins Returns, but for that reason of like, can I really trust that this was this like, I knew they were making a sequel for a really long time, but like, can I really trust that this is like a genuine, like, they want to continue telling the story, or do they just want to rake in the Mary Poppins fans?
I heard it was okay, allegedly.
Yeah, no, I heard it was okay, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know about the intentions, like Disney's intentions. And just kind of as Eric said, like, they're a huge monopoly, right? And they will do anything to get their buck, right? I mean, even just looking at their theme parks, right? They're, like, just speaking honestly, like, I love their theme parks because of what they stand for, but their theme parks are trash. Like,
what, Disney World?
The theming is great, but if you look at Epcot, oh my god, like, it's crumbling. Like, let me tell you this. MGM right now, not sorry, MGM. It used to be MGM, but now it's Hollywood Studios. Disney's Hollywood Studios only has 3 operating rides right now. This a whole theme park only has 3 rides now.
Damn.
Like, and then Epcot.
What a theme park.
Yeah, right, exactly. Epcot
Count the amount of rides on one hand.
Is like 4. There's only like 4 or 5 because they're too busy. Like right now I know that they're trying to rehab like right now, you know, like that's why they're shutting down a bunch of rides and they're trying to build new ones, especially with their new properties. Like they're building a Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster in Epcot. They took down the Great Movie Ride in Hollywood Studios to replace it with a Mickey and Minnie cartoon thing, right? Ride of some sort. And they have Star Wars Land, which is opening soon. And like it's just really weird to see that, like, first off, a theme park of this magnitude only has 3 rides and people are paying hundreds of dollars to get in. That's just seems, and by the way, not really the best rides either that are still left there. Like Rock and Roller Coaster, great ride. Tower of Terror, great ride. And then maybe one other. I'm pretty sure there's only like one other ride there. I think it's a Toy Story roller coaster or something like that. Anyways, that's my thing, right? It's people are paying hundreds of dollars to get into these theme parks, and it's just essentially mediocrity, right? And you can pay the same amount of money. Actually, you can pay twice over the price that you pay at Disney at Six Flags. You could pay double what, like 2 tickets at Six Flags, and you get what, like 20 or 30 rides in a day, and top-notch rides too. You know, these aren't just like, you know, like shitty rides, right? Six Flags is one of the best theme parks in the country, but you have things like Kingda Ka and stuff like that. And obviously, I know you're paying the Disney tax, right? Everyone calls it the Disney tax, but yeah. I find myself having a lot more fun in like Six Flags, but I find myself being like a lot more like, oh, I feel like a kid again, like, oh yeah, nostalgia, and like the nostalgia effect if I go to Disney World or Disneyland, you know. And I'm not saying I hate them. Like, I will go there if I have the money, if I have the means. Like, I'll definitely go down to like Disney. But if you gave me the choice between Universal Studios and Disney, I might choose Universal first, because the theming is just as good. But you pay the same amount and you get 2 theme parks and you get, you know, a lot more rides. And I think like that's just something that I am, you know, that's something that I worry about, at least with Disney. Just like, I don't know how far this is gonna go, and this is going. I don't think it's gonna blow up in their face, but I just gets like this a whole humor thing of like, oh, I can't, like, I love seeing them burn. I do, because they're like they do all this like almost shady shit, like with the whole Monopoly thing and the whole like, yeah, we only have 3 rides in this one park, but you're still gonna pay $100 to get in. It's like, yeah, you kind of deserve something for it, but I don't want to see them like totally collapse like as a company. Not saying that it would, because they make billions of dollars anyways, but you know, I don't want to see like that company fall like that, because it is a top-notch company that has provided happiness and smiles in the past, in great amounts. But
and it continues to do so.
It does continue to do so, and I don't know if it's just me, like, because I've grown up and I now realize, you know, like how much shit it is to deal with like these big corporations, essentially. Right. You know, like at the end of the day, we all realize that like all these video games we used to look up at, like EA and Activision and stuff like that, right? We look up at them, like we used to look up at them when we were younger, saying, "Yo, I love these games. These are cool."
Wow,
And
EA
then
games.
yeah, exactly. And like every time you saw the EA logo, you like if it wasn't a sports game, you got like chills. Like at least that was me. But now I think of EA and I like want to
Oh,
vomit.
I mean, I never really looked up to EA or Activision. I just didn't know who was the developer, so I was like, "Oh man, this game's great." Because I always noticed that there was like 2 or 3 names that came up. So I was like, "I don't know who
Vicarious
actually made the
Visions!
game. I don't know who actually made this game." But I mean, yeah, you're right. Why would anyone want to go to Disneyland when they can, have some fun today
At
at
Playland
Playland
Park.
Park. But
No, and you want to know something? Playland Park, you get more rides there than at Hollywood Studios, which is really sad.
you also get more chances of your brain splattering on the ground, last I heard.
Well, yeah.
Rest in
Oh.
peace to the people
we
who
went
got
over this
that, by the way.
in a previous episode.
But yeah, no, I like
Come on,
that's my
come
point.
on, come
Even
on.
Hershey Park, you pay $50. You pay $50 or $60.
Yo, what do they
to get in.
what do they have for food there?
At Hershey Park?
Yeah.
Gonna get your
Surprisingly, surprisingly, a very, very low amount of chocolate.
I was about to say, it's like, do they just sell Hershey's Kisses there?
No, like, you'll actually be very surprised. You'll maybe get like one or two, like of those, like the ones that you get for like trick or treating, like the tiny ones. You'll probably get like one or two of those like throughout your day. Like, but because they want you to buy from like they want to buy you to buy from them.
Oh, jeez.
But at the same time, it's like, yeah, like even they have more rides and more fun than like fucking Disney World, and they're based on a fucking chocolate bar. like, do you understand? They even have their own theming based around their like Twizzler Land and shit like that. Like
They
their
have
own...
more rides based
have
on
more
candy
rides?
compared to Disney, who owns fucking everything.
Exactly, and that's my problem here. It's like they spent just as almost like actually less time than Disney developing their brand, and they still somehow have more rides. They have the numbers, they have people who appreciate them. And yes, I'm not saying that Disney doesn't have people that appreciate them, but again, it's this idea of like people are willing to settle for mediocrity with like Disney World or Disneyland, because it's like it's like a status symbol. Oh, I took my kids to Disney World, And it's like every time people at the Super Bowl or whatever they win, they ask him, "What are you gonna do now?" "I'm gonna go to Disney World." And if I ever won the Super Bowl, which will obviously never happen, you know what I would say? I would say, "I'm gonna take my ass to Ryplayland." Just saying. Because I'll probably have more fun and probably more ways to catch dysentery than others. But yeah, that's my thing.
What? Okay.
I didn't mean to get all philosophical there, guys. I'm just like...
It wasn't more philosophical, it was more just you rambling on and on about Disney for like half an hour.
I really do think this is interesting, though. Like that, I mean... this is why I subscribe to people like Bright Sun Films and stuff like that, because I find the amount of, like, abandoned properties by Disney and shit like that really fascinating. Because
I do too, for those reasons.
Because it's like, damn, like, and they hide it too, but it's like these people, like, again, multi-billion-dollar corporation has all these ideas, and they either crash and burn, or they abandon them midway or something like that. And then they're still there. And you have to see them there. It's like interesting. Like you don't really see that much at like the other parks. The old like Six Flags, for example. The last time that they had something I think that was abandoned was when they abandoned an entire theme park in New Orleans, but that was because of the fucking hurricane. You know,
Damn.
which they had totally good reason for that.
The fucking hurricane.
You know, I don't know if I just sound crazy here, just because like I wanted to hear, but like I do just want to see like what are your thoughts on this at least, like the whole idea of like a Disney tax and like yeah, pretty much just like that idea, the Disney tax. Wow. People?
I'm letting those two go first.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting.
I put my 2 cents in along the way, Ray.
I really don't have too much more to say on the topic, honestly.
I think you spoke for enough for like 8 people, honestly. So.
All right, yeah, but
I mean that with all due respect too.
yeah. So
You definitely have an opinion on this.
That's putting it lightly.
Thanks. Frozen 2's coming out in theaters, everybody. And
What a segue.
Well, I didn't mention it, but I didn't really like go into it.
I
But
hope
Frozen,
Disney burns in hell. Oh, Frozen's 2 coming up.
Gosh.
I don't know if that's a cash grab either, but at the same time, that's the reputation they have. I'm glad that they have their own thing going for them. Frozen 2's coming out, I think, this year. But it looks good. I think they played. You said, Eric, that they played the entire like "Let It Go" like sequence for the trailer, right? Oh no!
For the trailer.
They played the "Let It Go" sequence in Kingdom Hearts 3. Right?
Yeah, they did.
And,
yeah, they had the whole scene rendered in engine.
Yeah. Oh wow. That's amazing.
And it looks as good as the movie. There's videos on YouTube where they compare the Let It Go scene from the movie and the one in Kingdom Hearts 3, and it's pretty damn comparable.
I really
They
need to
even
go see
fixed-
it then. Well,
They actually
I'll
fixed,
just probably wait to see it.
The Kingdom Hearts 3 version actually fixed a minor animation error where it's hard to see in the movie itself, but some of Elsa's hair in one particular scene clips to her body, and they couldn't find the way to fix it for the movie. But in
Right.
Kingdom Hearts, they managed to like fix that by like angling the camera a certain way so that you wouldn't be able to see it.
Right.
And
Wait,
also,
so did
like,
they
when,
replicate the error, but they just changed the camera angle so you couldn't see it?
Yeah,
Why not just fix the error instead of change the
I
camera?
don't know.
Why
There
did
was
they
also
have to
another-
make somebody re-render
There was
that?
another part where like the thing,
Kingdom Hearts. Because Frozen is one of the biggest movies ever, so of course they're gonna fucking do that. What gets me though is that they also have a bit of that song, "Do You Want to Build a Snowman?"
You wanna build a
And
snowman?
I would be fine with that too, except that Anna is talking while the lyrics are playing, so it's just an audio nightmare. Like, what the fuck?
yeah, when you're watching those cutscenes on YouTube, they mute the audio because it's literally the song from the movie,
Oh my
and then you
God.
can't hear it. You can't hear Anna talking to Sora in that scene.
Oh, really? Yeah, because
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I played it, obviously. But I was just laughing at that because I was like, what the fuck is this? It's literally like Anna talking, and at the same time, she's also, like, her little kid version is singing the song.
And are you okay? I don't feel so good, Sora.
Fades away,
Oh my God.
turns to dust.
You're
You
fine,
know what?
Anna.
What if?
You're going to the
Galaxy
Disney Vault.
Oh my God. What if
Back
that's
to the
actually where
vault.
they're going when Thanos snapped?
Spider-Man ends up in the Disney Vault.
I don't know. We might figure that. We might learn
Yeah.
what happens in the next movie. It could just be that they fucking died.
Oh yeah, you're right.
There's
You're
some
right.
theories.
Why did you sound like Goofy there?
Gorsh.
Oh gosh.
Oh, you wanna know what-
murder?
They were too. They fucking died. That's what happened.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, it's a possibility to be fair.
You want to have
God,
the ending
so-
in a Disney movie? Too bad, bitch.
Yeah. But on that note, Eric, go ahead and give us your thoughts. So, for those of you that don't know, Eric actually finished Kingdom Hearts 3. So he's finally
Fucking
caught
platinum
up.
the game.
Yeah, he platinumed the game, and he finally
yeah.
got up to he's finally caught up with the entire Kingdom Hearts series. I mean, he hasn't played
Yeah.
the ones that
Kingdom
like,
Hearts
obviously
expert
came
over
out.
here.
The ones.
So Eric, you know what?
Yeah.
I got a question for him. Fuck all this generic topical stuff. Eric, you tell
Yeah.
me. You played the whole Kingdom Hearts series. Who's got the best toes?
Oh my god.
Oh
Really?
my god. Also, he also has
You don't
been
actually
playing.
have to answer that
he
question.
also
I'm just
has-
fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you.
He's also been playing Resident Evil 2, so he'll give us his thoughts.
I
about-
haven't played it in a long time. Just
But he
because I've been
just his
busy,
initial
but
thoughts. So when he finishes it, he'll give us a detailed opinion. But
At this
Eric,
rate, I'll
Best
finish it in
toes.
like the summer.
Eric, you
In
have,
Resident Evil 2,
Eric, you have the floor.
Chris
Go for it.
Redfield would probably say his
Zombie
sister
toes.
Claire.
All right,
Mr.
So-
X has the best toes.
Eric, you have the floor. Go for it.
Well, when it comes to Kingdom Hearts 3, I will say first, I am a fan who grew up with the series. I played Kingdom Hearts 1 around the time when it came out. I remember I played it at like my uncle's house, where I was just a cousin of mine was playing. I was like, "Yo, what is that?" And I was playing it along with him. And eventually, I
What's
got it
that?
for myself. Yeah,
What's that?
exactly like that.
To
That's
be
my
fair,
accent
that's
and
how-
everything.
That's how I discovered Kingdom Hearts 2. I saw my cousins playing it on the PS2.
Yeah, and I thought and it was pretty fun from what I played. It was Kingdom Hearts 1, obviously.
Yeah.
But I played it and I really enjoyed it when I eventually got it myself. I also ended up getting Kingdom Hearts 2 eventually. I even played Chain of Memories on GBA, and that was the only because Chain of Memories. I guess I could talk about the different later, but like Chain of Memories was like the in-between game between Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, which was released on GBA of all things. But that one I also eventually played, and I was able to fill in some holes from the story. But then they continued, and they kept making a lot of spin-offs, and some of them I played, some of them I didn't. I never touched the mobile game because I hear it's way too fucking grindy, so I'm like, screw that. I'm just gonna watch the story cutscenes on YouTube, and that's it. And that's exactly what I did to prep up for Kingdom Hearts 3, along with replaying the series. But I played Days 358 Days Over 2 on DS. I never played Recoded, which was a remake of a Kingdom Hearts mobile game. And I'm not talking iOS or Android. I'm talking actually mobile game, like just a regular ass cell phone. Why was there a canon Kingdom Hearts game on a cell phone? I'll never know.
Vcast, right?
So
Yeah,
the remake
but-
was like
Yeah.
had a phone layout and shit.
I think
But we'll see what
I
happens.
think that game was made without Square's permission. So in my
And then they just said, "Fuck it, let's make it part of the canon."
yeah.
Oh my god! But yeah, I didn't
God.
play that. I played Birth by Sleep because I had a PSP, and I was like, "Oh, dude, Kingdom Hearts on PSP, cool." And I think that was it. I stopped playing the series for a long time, but then Kingdom Hearts 3, it finally started showing up again. It officially started development in like 2012 or 2013, something like that. A lot of people or maybe it was 2015. Honestly, I can't remember, but like. A lot of people try to meme it up and act like it's been worked on since Kingdom Hearts 2 launched, when that's obviously not the case. But when I saw that Kingdom Hearts 3 was actually gearing up for release, like sometime this decade, I was like, okay, I should probably catch up because it's been forever since I played the game. So I bought the collections on PS4, which are amazing, by the way, especially on PS4, because at least for the 1.5 plus 2.5 collection, all the games on there run at 60 frames per second, which is great. Because I remember hearing that apparently the original collections on PS3 were at 30. And they were also like, the load times were apparently ridiculous on PS3, which is weird. Even down to things like certain like summons you can do, it would have to load, which was really odd because I don't remember that being a problem on PS2. But another reason why it's definitely, those collections are also really good is because they basically hold the best versions of those games for the most part. They have the final mix versions of Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and Birth by Sleep, which are basically just the original games, but with a bunch of more content, like new cutscenes, new keyblades, new abilities, new bosses. Kingdom Hearts 2 especially added a lot of stuff with the final mix version. And that was really cool because we never got the final mix versions over here in the US. Japan got it, but the US never got it unless you imported the games, obviously. So this was the first time that those versions actually came stateside. But besides that, we also got Rechain of Memories on the collection, which was basically another version of Chain of Memories, but it was made on the PS2. A lot of people were hoping that the shift to the PlayStation 2 would make the combat more like the original first two games, but that wasn't the case. They kept the card system combat from the GBA game, which I don't mind, but I do think that game works a lot better on a GBA, honestly. I mean, it's kind of nice seeing the cutscenes and fully voiced, but it's still just, I still think the GBA version is slightly better in my opinion. But it makes sense why they went with Rechain of Memories. Like, obviously, they're not going to put a GBA game in there. There's no way they could, especially with how small that screen is. But unless they completely remade it again, but I doubt they would do that. So, they brought Rechain of Memories, they HDified it, so it looks a lot better. And, eventually they had another collection, 2.8, which had one returning title, Dream Drop Distance, which was the 3DS game. That got ported over to PS4, and that was in 60 frames per second, which was also really nice. And it was in HD, so it was, the best version of Dream Drop Distance as well. And it also had two other additions to it, which was 0.2, which was basically like a nice little taste of what Kingdom Hearts 3 will sort of be like. It's really short. It's like 2 hours, but it's meant to be replayed a few times if you want to 100% it, because there's some objectives you got to do. And then there's a movie in it. It's like a 1 hour movie that deals with a lot of the lore that was present in the mobile game, Kingdom Hearts Union. And you should definitely watch that. And I forgot to mention the 2DS games. Those two games weren't brought over gameplay-wise to the collections. They're just made as movies, which, to be honest, I heard Recoded is a pretty fun game to play because it basically has like the sphere grid from Final Fantasy X. But I think it's fine that they brought them over that way. When it comes to Days, I don't think the gameplay was all that great in Days anyway. The story was the best part, so the fact that it's basically just a movie is fine. Although I will say that there is some issues when it comes to like shifting it over to just a pure movie, because there's some things where sometimes you still have to read some text, so you have to like actually hold your controller sometimes, and every once in a while,
Right.
like some dialogue that should probably have been there are not, because some dialogue in the original game is not, taking place during the cutscene. It's using like regular DS graphics. So it's a little weird. The Recoded movie was a lot better, I'd say, but it's kind of a weird double-edged sword because honestly, Recoded is not important at all story-wise until like the last 5 minutes. Everything else in it is fucking pointless. It blows my mind. It's hilarious to me that they even bothered to put it in there, but I mean, hey, thanks, I guess. But I played all of those games, watched all those movies, even saw the cutscenes of the mobile game on YouTube to prep myself for KH3. I even platinumed and 100% every game, so that, I basically just experienced everything so that I was fully ready to go. And then Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, and I couldn't play it for a little while because of school. But eventually I got like a nice long weekend, and I dedicated that weekend to beating it and platinuming it. And what I can definitely say is that overall, I'm pretty satisfied gameplay-wise, because the game is fun as fuck. It's to give some background on the series, the first two games, Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, were made by a team based in Tokyo, and they're typically referred to as Tokyo Team. But a lot of the other games, like Birth by Sleep, Dream Drop Distance, and so on, were made by a team based in Osaka, typically referred to as the Osaka Team. And and the things that you could easily tell what Kingdom Hearts game is made by either of the two, because the Tokyo Team games really, really good at their gameplay feel, if that makes sense. Like, just the combat feels great in it. Kingdom Hearts 2 especially is just and probably one of the best action RPGs out there. It just feels good doing combos and all that. It's very strategic. The boss fights are really well designed and so on. And then you go to a Sokka team, and I still think they're fun games, but they're way worse compared to the Tokyo team games because, for one, swinging your Keyblade just isn't all that fun or viable because it feels like it's made of plastic. It has no weight to it, so basic combos aren't even all that viable in their games. They had a lot of issues in regards to boss fights where a lot of them are just really badly designed. The one that immediately comes to mind is that really shitty secret boss in Birth by Sleep that is basically impossible unless you play it one certain way. And even then, you could just die just out of nowhere, just for no reason, just because the boss fight's fucking stupid as shit. You literally need certain abilities equipped. You literally need certain commands installed to beat him. Otherwise, you're just not doing it because it's just a cheap boss. And when you compare that to something like the data organization fights in Kingdom Hearts 2, or the Sephiroth fights, or Lingering Will from the older Kingdom Hearts games, the ones by Tokyo Team, it's just no contest. But they also had other problems, like they had a lot of like screen nuki abilities that just would make the games a bit too easy. Like the Sokka Team games in general are just really not well balanced. There's some game breaking shit in basically all of them. Like in Birth by Sleep, it's stuff like Surge and all that. In Dream Drop Distance, it was the balloon spells. The balloon spells just broke that game completely. And it was stuff like that. And there's stuff that would break, but at the same time, it doesn't matter what level you are. Even if you're super high level, you'll find stuff that could basically one-shot you. Like, it doesn't matter what level you are. Some enemies, it's a breeze. You'll wonder why they're even there. Then some enemies are just bullshit. And I think the other thing that I should note with the Team Kingdom Hearts games is that when you try to use your Keyblade against them, they have no stagger animation, which is annoying because when you're trying to do a basic combo, they could just hit you in the middle of the combo. Like, they don't get stun locked or staggered with any hit, which is why I mentioned that it felt like the Keyblades had no weight to them at all. Some like KH2, which is actually really strategic. A lot of people like to meme, it's like, oh, just press X, but it's like, nah, on critical mode, you really can't do that in KH2. And that might seem crazy. It's like, oh man, critical mode. But it's actually, despite it being the hardest difficulty, it's actually a really fun and rewarding difficulty in Kingdom Hearts 2 because it's super balanced. You take more damage, but at the same time, you also do more damage. So it's very balanced. It's not like, bullshit difficulties in other games where it's like, oh, we're just gonna make you do like, we're just gonna make you take like 800% more damage, and on the flip side, you're gonna be like, shooting feathers at the enemies. Have fun. And it's like, it's really fun, and compared to a Sokka Team where the critical mode was not balanced at all, like in Birth by Sleep, that definitely was not the case. But I still think their games were fun, and they were slowly getting better. And when it came to 0.2, I noticed that it wasn't the gameplay wasn't as floaty as their previous games. They actually had a few decently designed boss fights, like the ones against Phantom Aqua in 0.2 were really well designed. I thought those were pretty fun. And, enemies were actually staggering now. Basic combos actually felt viable again. So I had a lot of hope for it. And then Kingdom Hearts 3 came along. And it's definitely not perfect. I still think KH2 is the king when it comes to the gameplay. But KH3, I would say, is like a solid second place. Because they got a lot of the fundamentals down. The Keyblade attacks actually feel good. It has weight again. The enemies are staggering. You can actually do basic combos. They still have some screen nuki stuff in there, like some of the high-level magic spells, like Fundaza or whatever, which you get as a situation command. It's not as bad as previous games, because at least this time it's only a specific area where it'll just kill everything. It's not the entire screen. But, they had some well-designed boss fights in there, and just in general, it actually felt really good. Like aerial combat felt viable again because in their previous games, if you were in the air, it's over because the combat was super floaty. And overall, I really enjoyed playing it. It's just there's a few things that annoyed me. For me, it's just that certain things just felt superfluous. I don't know what was the point of the attraction commands, and if you don't know what those are, they basically put Disney World, kind of an interesting segue, I guess. They put Disney World rides in Kingdom Hearts 3 as attacks.
Beautiful.
So they had like a pirate ship in there, they had the teacups and a water slide, and I think one other thing. And those attacks, those commands, are way too fucking powerful, and they're way too easy to get. So for the first like hour or so, I was using them when they would pop up because like, hey, when you get a command showing up on your menu, which is, if you want to know what a command is, it's basically when you're doing things like, say, you're hitting folks with your Keyblade, you'll eventually get a command to do a Keyblade form, or if you're using a lot of magic, you'll get a command to do a higher version of that magic. Or in this case, you'll get situation commands. If you hit a certain enemy at a certain time, you'll get an attraction command. And they're way too easy to get, and the attraction commands are, for one, really slow and kind of just break the flow of combat. And they're just too powerful. So honestly, after like the first hour or so, I just stopped using them like completely. So I would advise that too to other people who end up playing the game eventually. I would say use it for a little while, get the entries in your like gummy phone, because yeah, it's not a journal anymore in this game, it's a phone. Sora has a fucking smartphone. They even have Instagram in the game, I'm not kidding. There's hashtags and everything. But yeah, it's attraction commands were just kind of dumb and pointless. And I also think that as fun as the combat is, it's way too easy because Sora is just so freaking powerful. There's no critical mode at launch for Kingdom Hearts 3. It was only up to Proud Mode. And I was hoping that Proud Mode would give me some sort of challenge.
I love that they call it Proud Mode. That's amazing.
Proud Mode.
Are you proud of yourself?
Yeah, but honestly, even Proud Mode was easy as hell. And maybe it was super easy, especially for me, because I've played literally basically every game. But even then, I think if this was like your first Kingdom Hearts game, don't make it your first Kingdom Hearts game. But if it was, I still think you'd be able to get through Proud Mode just fine, because it's really easy. I didn't die once, even against the one secret boss at endgame. I still didn't die. I thought I would. I was like, oh shit, okay, so this is like the hardest boss in the game, and nah, I beat it my first try. I barely even tried because it's just that easy. So, that's something that I'll address later, because they are already talking about DLC and stuff.
Yeah,
but
they already came out with that.
There's, overall though, the combat is a lot of fun. I also think that the gummy ship stuff is probably the best it's been. I still wouldn't say it's amazing, because I mean, yeah, let's be honest, most people don't really even care about the gummy ship stuff. They care about the main portion of the gameplay, but I didn't mind it too much. It's basically like a bit more open world where you're allowed to explore certain 3 galaxies. What is going on back there?
I know.
But,
I'm so sorry. What's that noise in the background?
I don't know.
I think
Not me.
somebody's dying at Isaac's place. I literally heard somebody going,
I think that was Isaac playing with like a little brother or something. But yeah, like the gummy ship stuff is back, and the regular, when you're fighting like enemies in the gummy ship, it's really fun. It's basically like the Kingdom Hearts 2 gummy ship sections. But besides that, there's like a semi sort of open world where there's 3 galaxies you can explore, and in the galaxies there's things like asteroids you can blow up for crafting materials. There's treasure spheres you can go to get cool treasure and some other things like that. And there's not way too much in them to where you're overwhelmed. It's just enough for me, which is why I kind of like them by the end. I think it's the best gummy ship segment so far, at least. I'll be honest, it's definitely nowhere near as good as the regular gameplay. And so I don't blame people who just kind of skip it and just keep traveling world to world and ignore it for the most part. But, I was going for the platinum, so I had to do it anyway, eventually. But yeah, that was pretty cool. And just overall, I gotta say, the world design was really, really good too. Some people, and it's something that I've noticed just in this generation in general, that some people kind of look at numbers way too often when it comes to judging a game's quality. And by that, I mean, like, they'll compare to previous games. Like, oh, Kingdom Hearts 2 had, like, I don't know. I can't remember how many worlds it had. I don't know. Let's say 12 worlds. But Kingdom Hearts 3 only has, like, 8. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's a lower number, but that doesn't necessarily mean that KH3 is inferior when it comes to its worlds. It's literally just a number at that point. I care more about the quality of the worlds, and I'd say that KH3's worlds overall are way better than most of the best worlds in the previous games. They're a lot more well designed. They're a lot more open, but not way too open to the point where it's like a big open world or anything. And in general, they really like represent each movie that it's based on really well. So I really dug the worlds. I know that some people thought that were a little disappointed that there was next to no like 2D Disney stuff in there. It was basically just Olympus and a few summons, like Lilo and Stitch and Ariel were summons in the game. But I didn't mind that too much because I could kind of tell that they wanted to do more of the 3D animated Pixar / Disney stuff because of the upgrade with the engine, with Unreal Engine 4. I think it makes sense that they went that route, and I'm perfectly okay with it. Especially because they also brought back Pirates of the Caribbean, which would make it the 4th live action world in the series, but it actually looks really good this time thanks to that engine. Sora doesn't stand out so much anymore.
Yeah. Even like Goofy and Donald, despite being anthropomorphic animals, they kind of fit well with like whatever texture they get in that universe.
Yeah, like in Cage 2, when they put in the Pirates of the Caribbean world, it's like those are the PS2 graphics that we've come to know for a long time for Kingdom Hearts. So you're literally seeing like an anime boy next to what's supposed to be a real life like Jack Sparrow, and it just looks so distracting.
Like a low resolution textured real life model of Jack Sparrow next to an anime character.
It's really weird. That's why so many memes have come out of that world. Like there's one where what's the name of the girl from Pirates of the Caribbean? I keep forgetting. Elizabeth, right?
Elizabeth, yeah.
And like I remember seeing one screenshot where Elizabeth is like catering to Will's wounds or something in Cage 2, and like in the corner you see Goofy's fucking mouth like just on the screen, and it's just it doesn't like work at all. But in Cage 3 it looks really good. Like the whole game just looks incredible. It felt like I was playing through the CG cutscenes from like Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. That's how nice it looked. And when it came to the CG cutscenes themselves, I mean, if you just look it up, it looks crazy good. Also, it's basically, what else? Oh yeah, the music I thought was also really nice. Shout out to that amazing fucking song near the end of the game that you only get to hear for like a minute and then never hear again. That really annoyed me. This is why I have trust issues with video games sometimes. Why would you put a super sick song like that, but then just not have it play? But, Scalad Callum, really fucking good. I don't know why they stuck it in there for just like 30 seconds, but hey, at least you could listen to it on YouTube. Yeah. And, things like that. The story is like the big thing. And that's definitely where I take the most issue, in that the biggest problem with KH3's story is that there's certain holes in it that Nomura has basically said, like, I think 2 days ago now, there was a big article on a magazine where he talked about KH3 and the plans for the future for the series. And he just flat out, he admitted that critical mode will come to KH3. They're just fine-tuning it. And I'm cool with that. They also explained why there's literally no Final Fantasy characters in KH3. I mean, outside of the Moogle and a few like visual nods like the Cactuar in the Toy Story world, there's no Final Fantasy characters, which is a bit disappointing because they were a part of the previous games, and while admittedly they would dwindle as the series went on, there are a few Final Fantasy characters that are sort of mainstays in the series, like Squall from Final Fantasy VIII, or even Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. And that's also why I was really hoping for Sephiroth to return as a secret boss, because he was a secret boss in the first two Kingdom Hearts games. So, keep up the tradition. But he also said that he basically said that they weren't there because this is the game to wrap up the entire Xehanort saga, and so there's so many characters to focus on. But so they decided to just not really feature any Final Fantasy characters because they already were working with too many characters, and that's what I assumed, honestly. And I'm not going to cry over it. I was kind of sad to not see Final Fantasy characters because that was one of the main draws of the series for me. Like I mentioned at my cousin's place, I was like, yo, Disney and Final Fantasy in one game? That's awesome. I'm going to play it now. And that's basically how I got into it. So to not see any Final Fantasy characters was kind of a letdown, but maybe we'll see it in the future because besides Critical Mode, he also said that future DLC will come. But and this is where I take issue, is that some of the DLC is basically explanations for things that went unexplained in the story. I've said it before that I'm A-okay with story expansions and things like that, story DLC in games. I love The Last of Us's DLC Left Behind, where it's basically just giving us backstory to a character that was only mentioned in the original game and and stuff like that. But when you have to release DLC for things that really should have been in the main story to begin with, that's where I really start to take issue. And I fully expected there to be DLC for the game anyway, because this is a modern game, and Square, they love their DLC every once in a while. So I was expecting it. It feels scummy to leave out portions of the story and then sell it later. Like if it was unfinished, I honestly would have been like, yeah, just delay it then. I would much rather have a complete story than play it early. Than play it early but have portions of the story missing. But besides certain parts of the story unexplained, the biggest issue with the story, for me at least, is that the pacing is really bad, in that at the beginning of the game, there's a lot of story. Then there's basically next to no story until the very end of the game. For like 5 hours, it's just all story. And that is a huge problem because that's not how it went in the previous games. They try to balance it in KH3 by having cutscenes in between each world, where you're constantly checking in on certain characters and all that, and you're getting cutscenes with stuff like Riku and Mickey, or Axel and Kairi and things like that. And you do see sort of plot threads unwind and unfold in between each world. It's just, I think for me, what easily could have really helped and fixed it is to have a middle portion, like a world that you visit in the middle of the game that had a lot of story. Because that's how it worked in KH1 and 2, where once you reached the middle of the game, you would have to return to one of the original Kingdom Hearts centric worlds, and there would be a lot of plot happening there, and then you'd go back to the Disney stuff, and then you would reach Endgame. But in KH3, there's no middle world that you visit for a lot of the story. So it's basically just story, Disney stuff for a ton of hours, and then story again for 6 hours. Literally, that's all the end game is at that point. It's just a ton of stuff happening almost too quickly, so that certain things you aren't even allowed to let sink in. And I wish they did, because there are some emotional moments in there. I mean, I'm not going to spoil what happens in certain moments, but let's just say some shit does happen that they kind of tease in one trailer, to be fair. So I guess it's not too much of a spoiler. But let's just say, not everyone makes it out at a certain point once they reach the final world.
Rip Goofy.
Yeah. So, and it's a lot of stuff happening at the end game that I feel would have had more emotional payoff if it was spread out more. Like, there's a certain character that Riku and Mickey are looking for. And once you reach endgame is when you find that character. But after that, you find another lost character, and then after that, you move on to the last world, and then you keep going from there. I felt like, like I said, have a bunch of story in the middle of the game like in the other games, so that it's spaced out better and it has more emotional payoff. But that's just me. Overall, I still had some emotional moments with it just because I do really like some of the characters in it. So seeing them, get together at the end was really cool. I did end up doing all the entire game. Like I said, I platinumed it, which means I did see the secret ending. I have no fucking clue what it's supposed to mean, but I guess I'll wait and see. I don't know where they're taking the series at this point. It's bonkers, is what I'll say. But I'm not gonna spoil it. You can look it up on YouTube if you want to see it. But it's wild. I had to talk about it with like 5 of my friends because no one knew what the hell was happening. But that's basically how it is with the story and all that. When it comes to the whole like 100%ing it and platinuming it thing, it's very easy, honestly, compared to other Kingdom Hearts games to platinum. For one, you don't even have to play on the hardest difficulty to platinum it. If you really wanted to, you could play on beginner mode and still 100% it. It's just that you would have to collect more lucky emblems if you wanted to get the secret ending. But that's fine, honestly. But yeah, I mean, overall, the road to 100% in that game isn't too bad. The gummy ship stuff is honestly not bad at all. I know that most people don't care for it, but if you do end up inevitably having doing it, it won't take that long, in my opinion. The lucky emblem stuff was also not too bad. Same with getting all the treasure chests, and same with like recording all the mini games and doing all the mini games and filling up your glossary and things like that. The one thing that was kind of grindy though was you have to synthesize every item in the Moogle shop, and that takes some time because certain items you can only unlock by doing certain photo missions because there's a camera in the game, just like a lot of modern games these days, like Spider-Man, Last of Us, Uncharted 4, so on. There's a camera in the game because it's a gummy phone now, not a gummy journal. But you get photo missions from the Moogles that are like, give me a picture of Herc's abs.
Toes.
No, damn it, stop. But and you would have to take a picture, and when you do it, it unlocks a new item that you can craft or synthesize in the shop. And there's also other goals, like eventually you're going to have to collect every type of material in the game, and when you do and you give it to the Moogles, they'll mark off a material goal that also unlocks stuff. So first off, you have to get all the goals done. Then you have to painstakingly synthesize everything. And yeah, by the end of the game, you're going to have a ton of synthesis materials, especially if you didn't synthesize much, which I didn't, because like I said, the game's not that hard. But it took forever having to synthesize everything because certain materials you really had to grind for. And it was made easier because one of the post-game things that unlock once you actually beat it is this thing called battle portals, which is basically just a gauntlet of enemies for a while. It's not hard at all because, like I said, the game's pretty easy. The last battle portal is where you fight the one secret boss, and it's probably the easiest secret boss in the series, at least to me. But yeah, it's the synthesis stuff was definitely the biggest grind, but even that's not too bad. You just gotta just look up where to find certain materials, and then size it, mark it off your lists, and you'll be good to go eventually. I went the extra mile and even did some other things to like fully get 100%, even though they weren't required for the trophy itself. I upgraded all the Keyblades because that's the thing you can actually do in the game. The first time ever, you can actually upgrade the Keyblades up to like level 10 for each of them, which is really cool because one problem that previous games would have is that, if you really like this one Keyblade, it's like, well, tough shit. Eventually, you're going to find one that's just straight up better, like just has better stats. Right. It's like, yeah, why would you keep like that one Keyblade on anymore? It's like, well, hey, now to keep like the very first Keyblade with you the whole game because you could just upgrade it. And that's what I upgraded all the Keyblades. I got the gummy ship to level 99, which you didn't have to do. I also even bought all the special gummy ship parts in the gummy shop, which you also didn't have to do, just to feel like I really did do everything in the game. I think overall the game was a lot of fun. plenty of issues with it, but I am overall very satisfied. I will play the DLCs and stuff, tune into what they release next whenever they do happen. I think Osaka team is definitely improving as time goes on. I'm a little saddened that drive forms from KH2 didn't return. The Keyblade transformations are probably the replacement, and those are really cool. Like, the Pirates of the Caribbean Keyblade eventually transforms into a flag that you just, you start hitting enemies with, or like Monsters Inc. Keyblade turns into yo-yos eventually that you just swing around. And it's really cool, and those are probably the replacements. I just really like drive forms because it's a neat way of progression, because when you level those drive forms up, you also get abilities just for regular Sora, like being able to fly, which was really neat. But yeah, overall, it's really fun. I'm excited and interested to see what comes next. I really hope they add a lot more post-game content, because that's definitely something that the game is lacking in. Like, like I said, there's only one secret boss compared to KH2 where there's a million. Like, seriously, KH2 Final Mix had so much post-game content. But yeah, those are my thoughts on KH3 personally. I'd say if you're a fan of the series, you might end up being disappointed by it, but I think you should at least check it out, especially if you've kept up with it this long. I think Isaac left at this point, but
Oh my
Hey,
god,
you
did
know
you
what?
really?
I think
Still here.
Oh, sweet.
great.
No, but that was a really good review, Eric.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Definitely, like I've been wanting to get back into the series for the longest time, and it's good to hear a number of good things coming out from the most recent games. Now, let me ask you one question just to cap off this review. Did you find all those ingredients?
yes, I did, Donald. I also found all the lucky emblems, don't worry.
All the
It's
Mickeys.
so
Beautiful.
That's good.
You got all the
Those
Mickeys?
lucky emblems were insane, because some of them you have to get them at certain angles, but just if you're in the vicinity of where one is, Donald and Goofy will still chime in like, oh, there's a lucky emblem nearby, and I just look around for like 10 minutes like, where? What are you talking about? I don't see anything.
Eric turns into Farquaad and Trick One. Who's hiding?
It was really weird.
Interesting little fact I think I learned about the Toy Story world, by the way. There is a Pizza Planet truck there if you look hard enough.
Really?
While you're walking through.
Really?
Yeah, I think before you go into Galaxy Toys, you see it parked somewhere.
Oh wow, that's awesome. The Toy Story world is probably my favorite world in the game. It's up there. I really like that one. I liked the San Francisco world. I think the San Francisco world even had a really cool
I swear, I thought
story.
you said San Fran Tokyo World. I was like, wait, what?
That's basically what it is.
Yeah, although you know why he said that. Tokyo.
No,
Toast,
Bruh.
Bruh, don't bruh
Bruh.
me. Don't bruh me. Have you seen the name of our voice chat? Bruh. But yeah, that was a really cool world. I really liked a lot of them. My least favorite is probably the Frozen one, and it's not even because, Frozen, it's like the biggest thing to hate on because of how popular it got. Lawrence, please. I literally only dislike it the most in the game because you literally climb up and down that fucking mountain in Arendelle like 3 times. Yeah, like you never go into the town itself, and you keep falling off that damn mountain. So it got really old.
I totally hear you on that, yeah.
Yeah, and I honestly, personally cannot wait until I actually, play it. So I still, for people who are wondering, I actually have not yet played any of the Kingdom Hearts games, but I am looking forward to it. Honestly, I am, and I'm really excited.
Yeah. They're really fun.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. And, after watching a bunch of videos in the past of these games, it's just I like that playstyle. The playstyle, that's why I like games like Dynasty Warriors and Fire Emblem Warriors, Hyrule Warriors, because it's one of those games where a swarm of enemies comes at you, but then you just hack and slash. You just kind of go that's why I like a game like Legend of Zelda or something like that, where Link literally just Breath of the Wild, where you can literally just kind of rush into into a swarm of enemies kind of thing and just deal with it, That's really cool
Right.
to me. Yeah, I think there's a lot, you said a lot there, and there's a lot to deal with there, and I think I'm personally excited for that. But yeah.
You'll definitely like KH2 a lot then. That one's definitely still my favorite, just because it's the most fun to play.
Yeah. Well,
From what I
And
hear,
honestly,
yeah.
if the series ended there, it would have ended on a really nice ending. I really, Utada Hikara, I think that's how you pronounce her name. She makes the songs, the big songs that everyone sings whenever a new one comes out, like Simple and Clean or Sanctuary. Yeah, and
clean.
and she made the new ones for KH3 as well. There's 2 new ones for KH3. One of them she made was Skrillex, I think literally just because he's a big Kingdom Hearts fan. But then she
Yeah.
made one just by herself called Don't Think Twice, which is really good too.
Yeah.
I love that song.
Don't think twice, bro.
In a kingdom of thieves.
Thieves.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
talk to us a little bit, I guess.
People who
now that
say
you've given us your
things
review
don't
on
really
Kingdom
mean.
Hearts and the series and Kingdom Hearts 3, give us a little bit about Resident Evil 2. I want to see. I want to see what you think of it, because
Okay,
From what
I
you've
before I
heard,
forget,
I remember when you first brought it up, you said, "Wow, nice of Capcom to release the game of the year."
Nice
or
of
something like that.
Capcom.
I say that because it's true. Resident Evil
Yeah.
2 remake is fantastic. I've only beaten Leon A, and I need to play Claire B. But honestly, there's only one problem I have that's sort of major, but it's not even that big of a deal. Just because the rest of the game is so good, and the rest are just sort of nitpicks. My one big problem with it, as someone who played the original Resident Evil 2, is that the B scenarios just are more just sort of remixed versions of the A scenarios. Like they're not as I guess extensive as the B scenarios in the original game, because the B scenarios in the original game, you would it really felt like a continuation of the previous A scenario you just finished. So like, if you did Leon A, Claire B would feel like a very logical progression of the story, whereas here Claire B just sort of feels like here's the same campaign but just sort of remixed a bit and all that, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But yeah, that's like my one big issue. The rest are just sort of minor nitpicks. Like I think the music in the remake could have been a little better, but I admit I might be a little biased because the original soundtrack is really good, which you can get on PSN if you really want it. And I caved and bought it because it also
Well.
comes with the original Resident Evil 2 sound effects, like from the menu, and those are amazing. Plus, I really wanted to hear that save theme again because it's a really iconic theme. But
That's pretty cool.
that's like one of my minor nitpicks. I guess another minor nitpick is that sometimes Mr. X goes from terrifying to just kind of annoying, where I'm like, all right, I just want to progress, bitch. Can you leave me alone? It's just like it would just, because he would follow you everywhere. Like even the main hub of the police station, which is normally a safe zone, it isn't anymore. Even there, he can get you. And it's terrifying at first. Like there's one moment where he'll literally punch through a wall trying to get to you, and like I literally jumped back when that happens. But then there's other times where I was like, all right, you fucking asshole, I just want to get downstairs. Like, can you stop following me for a second? But what they were going with Mr. X, I do appreciate that. That's the reason why I really like that remake, even though I still need a lot. I'd still have a lot left to play in it.
Oh no,
Is
he
that-
has AirPods on.
Is that it's a remake in the truest sense of the word, in that it pays homage to the original. It doesn't disrespect it in any way, but it's its own thing. It's not exactly the same game as the original, because like, why would you do that? The original is still there. It's the same way I look at cover songs. Just like, I don't want the same song over again. I want it with a new twist, and that's exactly what this game does. It has plenty of homages to the original game, even down to like a specific door that everyone remembers. It's back in the remake too, but it adds plenty of twists to the story, to the to the gameplay itself. I mean, the biggest twist is that it's over the shoulder instead of, the whole pre-rendered tank control stuff from the original classic Resident Evil games. It's a really solid remake that you could tell has a lot of love put into it. It's fun to play. It's classic Resident Evil in its core, even though it's, behind over the shoulder like Resident Evil 4 and so on. It's, very limited ammo. You really got to be careful with it. Every time you miss a bullet, you just want to cry like, oh. And, limited inventory space. You really got to make sure you're good with all that. Puzzles to solve. Like I said, it's a police station. You got to go around and solve all the puzzles, and then you eventually get to other areas in Raccoon City and things like that. I even dug, and visually the game is incredible. Like that Resident Evil engine, man. They made it for Resident Evil 7 at first, and I hope they keep using it. I hope the Resident Evil 3 remake, if that gets made, uses it, because I can only imagine Nemesis in that engine. It just looks crazy good. And I even dig like some of the story changes. Some of them I'm not too crazy over. Like I wish Leon and Claire would talk or interact more over the story. I think they did that more in the original. But I do think certain things like their dialogue flows a bit better. Like one scene that some people pointed to is like as a negative, but to me I really liked was when they're talking. When Claire is behind a gate and Leon finds her, and they're just talking for a while, and they're talking like kind of goofily, honestly, like almost in a way where I guess because where the meme came from, it almost seems like Claire's hitting on Leon, which probably gave birth to the whole Leon, please fuck my sister, preserve the Redfield legacy and all that. But some people thought it was just really cheesy and just weird. I really liked it because I think it makes sense in the situation in that, they're in a really dire situation. They're probably stressed out beyond belief. And yeah, they're going to release some of that anxiety by just lazing around and just being able to talk to someone else and all. So I really dug that personally. But, I can't talk a ton about Resident Evil 2 because, like I said, I need to play more of it. But it's a really great game. I think everyone should go out to buy it. Even if you've never played a Resident Evil game, this is a pretty good way to jump into the series if you want. It's classic Resident Evil at its core, even if it's not the same camera angle or controls. I'd say that you shouldn't let that hang you up. And, you get to play as big boy Leon, but now he's a small boy. He's naive boy Leon, not smug Leon from Resident Evil 4 and onward. And you get to play as Claire, who's really cool. And what else is there? Oh yeah, I wanted to mention that they're releasing DLC for Resident Evil 2, except it's not really DLC. It's free updates that adds like new story modes, which is pretty cool. I noticed it when I booted it up a little while ago. They added a thing called Ghost Survivors, which adds like 3 new campaigns into the game that you could play through, which is really neat because it's completely free. And it's just additional content that you can do if you want.
That's pretty cool. It's a healthy way to keep the game alive, especially since it's a remake. It's not interfering with the original story in any way.
Yeah. Speaking of Resident Evil, apparently they announced that Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 1 Remake, and Resident Evil 4 is coming to Switch in like May. But the prices seem kind of bullshit because those games are like $20 on PS4, but they're releasing it for like full price on Switch. I don't know what that's about. Like $30 for each game. Like 30 for Resident Evil 4, 30 for Resident Evil 1, 30 for Resident Evil 0, which is kind of BS because you could get like all 3 for like $40 on like PC or something. I don't know what that's about, but think before you buy. I will say I fucking love Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 0 is just okay, but think before you buy.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, just noting that for people who are interested. I was interested because I would love to play Resident Evil 4 on the go. That's still like one of the best games of all time to me.
Yeah. I fully agree.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I'm glad that you were able to share that. Like, it really is, at some point I do plan on picking up both games. Some point. Especially once I get clear through Kingdom Hearts. But, I'm really excited for that, and I'm glad that at least you're able to go and get through it. And you know what? You're probably going to get through Resident Evil 2 a lot faster than you think. I'm telling you that.
Probably. I've still also been playing Breath of the Wild on my Switch. I have free time anyway, and that game's insanely huge, and I'm still not even done yet. I still don't even have all the shrines done, but
Totally hear you.
no.
Yeah.
It's also my right Joy-Con's thumbstick is fucking up, and I'm getting annoyed. Like I feel like I'm probably gonna have to buy a new
You're
new
in good
one.
company.
It's
not doing. It's doing a weird thing where it's just sometimes the camera will start pointing down or up when I'm like running in Breath of the Wild.
Yep.
Just out of nowhere, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like I would go to the calibrations and it's doing this weird thing where like I hit down on the thumbstick, and when I let go, it slowly goes back up to the middle instead of like immediately snapping back to the middle, which is what it's supposed to. And I don't know what happened.
Sounds like the drifting.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to the thumbstick. I'm gonna try and push through, but if it keeps happening, I might just have to buy a new one.
Yeah.
Dude, I hate
Sucks.
that shit. Because, like, that shit is literally the reason why I lost several Smash matches and why I just became... Like,
Yeah,
why
that's
I
what
just
I was
stopped playing the
thinking.
game for a while. Because, like, I would just lose... Sometimes I would even completely lose control of the character, and I can only press the A button.
Yeah, seriously. I was thinking that when it kept happening to me during my last few, like, train sessions of Breath of the Wild. They kept doing that. I was like, bruh, I'm really glad I'm not playing Smash right now, because I would be raging hard if this fucking annoying, like, thumbstick glitch was happening, like, in an online match.
Yeah, I
It would
hear you.
also, it would sometimes interrupt my YouTube videos, because I use the YouTube app on the Switch, and when you press up on it, it brings up, like, the scroll bar to scroll through, like, the time in the video. And so sometimes it's just...
that would suck. Can you imagine you get to, like, the best part, and it's like, nah, restart the video.
Restart the podcast.
All right, thank
What's
you guys
up,
for
gamers?
listening. That's all the time we have.
What?
I think Isaac has to go.
No, because he said wrap up the podcast.
No.
Oh.
But yeah, no, I actually
But yeah, it
appreciate
is 240 now that you mentioned it.
Oh, damn, we didn't play the game this time.
What game?
Next week.
Fuck that.
Oh, no,
That's for next time.
we usually do this gag every episode for like the past couple episodes now, where we say what time it is in real life, and then people
Oh
can
my
link
God.
up what time it is without pausing the podcast.
Yeah.
Can I just say, though, just to go back to Kingdom Hearts 3 for a bit more, I mentioned this to Lawrence. I might have mentioned it to Ray. I'm not sure. I can't remember, because sometimes I forget things. But I don't think Kingdom Hearts is a perfect series at all. I don't blame people if they're not even interested in it, because the story and shit gets wild after a while. But some of the takes I've seen have just been so crazy. The big one that I'm mind blown seeing is basically, to sum it up, is a fair amount of people are saying that Kingdom Hearts 3 should like cater to people who enter the series for the first time. It's like people are basically saying that it's bad writing if they enter Kingdom Hearts 3 having not played any of the previous games, or having just played, say, 1 and 2, and they don't get certain things that happen in the story, and they just call it bad writing because they didn't cater to people who haven't gone through the whole series. And to me, at least, that just blows my mind, because I'm like, well, yeah, it's called a continuous story. It takes elements from literally every past entry. This is a normal thing in storytelling sometimes. There's definitely series where you don't have to play every entry, like, Final Fantasy and all that.
Yeah.
But those are like, each game is like a whole new story and everything.
Right.
So that makes sense that you could come into it with like, say, 15, and you would never have to have played the other ones because it's a whole new world and everything. Kingdom Hearts has been a long-running story for 13 years now. It's mind-blowing to me that people are like, nah, writing that I don't get it. Played all the games? Oh, nah, I've only played like Cage 2. It's like, okay, that's your problem then. Like, it's just so weird. Like, you would never see a take like that for something like a book. Can you imagine someone being like, I skipped Lord of the Rings Book 2. Book 3 should still make sense to me. It's bad writing if it doesn't. Can you imagine someone saying that?
Yeah, it's funny too, because we now live in a day and age where you can go on the internet and do some preliminary research and see, like, okay, I need to read this book in order to understand this future entry in the timeline. It's like, because we talked about this before with like stuff like the MCU. Like obviously, you don't just go into Infinity War without having seen any of the previous Marvel movies. You don't necessarily need to see all of them, but you at least need to have an understanding of what's going on in that universe. Otherwise,
This
there
is
should
why.
be no there should be no
Yeah.
justification for like giving a bad review of you not understanding what's going on.
And that was the same thing with Infinity War. Like I kept seeing it. I don't know what it is with these people that just expect certain entries in long-running franchises to cater to them if they've never experienced any previous one. I guess that there are some franchises like that, like Final Fantasy, like I said, but it's perfectly valid to have a series that, yeah, you do need to know everything up to a certain point to enjoy the latest entry. Like, obviously. That's like if someone, let's say by some miracle, the latest Game of Thrones book came out. Song of Ice and Fire, the latest book finally came out. It's like, bro, I don't get what's happening. I didn't read the previous books. What is this shit? It's like, well, no shit, Sherlock. Of course you're not going to understand. You came into it with book 5.
That's
Makes no sense.
Yeah. No, that's exactly.
It makes
the
no
point.
sense.
I think that's exactly what like is pretty shitty about it. It's just like, well, rip, you know, like
Yeah, it's there's one I saw. I'm not gonna call out the guy who tweeted it, but some dude even said, "I don't know what kind of books you've read, but if you're you should be allowed to skip a chapter and still understand what goes on." And I'm like, "What the fuck books have you read? What? Can you reading Harry Potter? Yo, I skipped a chapter and suddenly Dumbledore died. What the fuck? Like, what?
what?
Who are these crazy people?"
And why are you doing this to my
Okay,
phone?
there's accidentally skipping ahead in a movie, and then there's accidentally skipping ahead of like pages in a book. Get a bookmark.
Like, what is this? How do you people exist?
You know, I don't think they do. I think they just
They
exist in
shouldn't.
their mind.
But yeah, I just needed to rant about that because that's just insane. Like, I think some people really just need to get it through their heads that certain things are primarily made for fans who have been following up with a certain franchise for so long.
Like
It's
I
like
said
if you
before,
played,
like,
like, yeah.
the Yu-Gi-Oh movies.
Yeah, or like even fucking some like Metal Gear Solid 4. Now I've never played a Metal Gear Solid
Yeah.
game, but I know that from a lot of friends who really like that series that they're like, yeah, Metal Gear Solid 4 is like it works at its absolute best if you actually are a big fan that has played every game up to
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
If
Absolutely.
you go into Metal Gear Solid 4 blind, you are fucking yourself over because like there's so much
I
going
like
on in that
fucking
game
myself.
that you will.
But
There's
nah,
so
Ray.
much going on in that game that you will understand if you play the first few ones.
But nah, Ray. It should still make sense to me. Bad writing. Okay, sure, dude. Whatever you say.
But like,
So dumb.
you know, that works, right? Doesn't it?
God,
4
I don't know.
is totally the first number in new
It's-
numbers.
I see it the most often with video games, honestly. Like, occasionally you'll see a head-ass take like that with a movie like, say, Infinity War, but I see it the most with video games, which honestly leads me to believe that y'all people need to, like, go out and read a book once in a while, or go out and, like, watch a TV show or a movie. Experience another medium, please. 'Cause
Yeah.
this
Preferably,
is ridiculous.
preferably in chronological order.
Preferably.
Yo, what the hell? I just got into Breaking Bad Season 5, and I don't get what's going on.
It's like, I don't know why. What's going on here? But yeah, no, I think you touched on some good points there, and I don't know. I think like if like you know if I was able to rant earlier, then you can rant, and then I can then you can definitely rant about it. You know, go and you know like you totally what you said is not far from like the truth. You know, and I'm sure you know that.
I'm an open-minded guy. Even things that I hate, like with a passion. If you like, I will be like, hey man, you do you. If you really enjoy it, all the more power to you. But when you say, nah, a long-running continuous story should absolutely have to cater to me, a person who
Means go
hasn't
fuck
kept
yourself.
up with it, you need to like off yourself.
Yeah. Speaking of offing yourself,
Oh God.
there's one of those segues. Marvel and Hulu are in bed right now.
No, yeah.
And so they're coming out with a group of 4 superheroes that you might know, you might have seen them. No, it's not Daredevil, and no, it's not Luke Cage or Iron Fist or Jessica Jones. Go fuck yourself. It's actually the Offenders. It's supposed to be like a joke about the Defenders. I'm excited for it just because I want to see what they're gonna do with it. So it's gonna be Howard the Duck. Was it Mordock, right?
MODOK.
Murdoch or Mordock?
MODOK.
MODOK. There's no
MODOK.
R.
Murdoch.
Matt Murdock? Yeah, I would love if he came back.
And who are the other two? I can't remember the other two because I only remember those two.
I honestly don't remember.
Anyways, they're gonna be doing like adult cartoons now for Marvel, and Marvel is and Hulu. You know, Hulu is not at all opposed to taking back the Netflix shows that were canceled.
Yeah, they straight up said that they would like to take the rights from them to continue the shows. So we'll see what our
Please.
takes us.
I'm excited to I mean, I like the partnership, but it's kind of just weird. Like last week we were talking about Punisher and Jessica Jones, but just like if you saw the statement that Marvel released, they were just like pretty much like, or Netflix, I forget. They're just like, and we'd like to thank Marvel for allowing us to
Netflix.
do this. And I was just like, wait. Damn, they like pretty much just said it right then and there. They're done with Marvel. They're done.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I'm not surprised.
it just kind of like it was kind of a shock factor. Like, yeah, I knew they were canceling it, but damn, like they actually like it's done.
Jeez, you're making it sound like your favorite celebrity couple just broke up.
No,
like,
it's just I didn't
done.
expect it. It was just like when I saw that statement and like saw those words, I was just like, shit. Like it's like this because this has been happening for like they've had this thing going on for 5 years now, right? Like Daredevil season 1 came out in 14, right?
Yeah, like shortly after the Avengers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it came out like forever ago now. And I
Shit.
remember when it came out, it shook the world.
Yeah, no,
how good it
exactly.
was.
It really
And I
did.
think that's the part that like I'm kind of shocked about. Like it's been 5 years since they've started, and now it's like actually done.
I want my one take action scenes, damn it. Bring Daredevil back at least.
Oh no, absolutely. And I think that's like that's something that I'm, even it's funny. Charlie Cox said at one of the panels, he was just like, he was wearing a shirt that said "Save Daredevil." He was just like, guys, seriously, do it. Like he was telling them to sign the petition because there is a petition, a website where you can sign it and say "Save Daredevil."
I
Because
feel
he
like
wants
unless
it.
those petitions actually get like millions of signatures, like the SpongeBob one for the Super Bowl, then nothing will really happen. But that's just me. I mean, hey, it's admirable that people care enough to do it, though.
Yeah, I want to like
Netflix-
so here I'll send you guys the
Netflix
link,
will
but
give
like
us-
you guys can join the website. I haven't signed the petition yet, but it's
Netflix
like
will update Daredevil with a season 4, and all the episodes are just sicko mode.
yeah, it says in less than a week we became the voice for Daredevil, recognized by news articles, actors, and global websites.
That
Thousands
iconic
of,
opening theme, just fucking replace it with sicko mode.
thousands of loyal Daredevil fans came to us for guidance, and I was like, whoa, shit.
Guidance.
I'm just imagining Charlie Cox going, "You used me for hype development."
Oh my god. Wait, what the hell? They have a Save Daredevil campaign billboard in Times Square? What
Holy
the
shit, really?
hell? Yeah.
If that's real, yo, we gotta see that.
Daredevil what?
There's a Save Daredevil campaign billboard in Times Square.
Oh wow.
What the hell?
When
I
I only
haven't
heard
seen
Times
it.
Square, so I was like, "It's coming to Times Square," and then my mind went, "Daredevil is coming as like a Broadway play or something." I think Charlie Cox did used to do theater, so
Yeah, he actually is in a new play coming out.
Yeah, he's a really good actor.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see what else is coming for him. I'd love to see him in an actual, like, remember he did sign a contract to be in a feature film for as Daredevil, so I'm excited to
Here's
see.
They better not replace him. If they do, I'm just fucking done
Yeah.
with
here's
the
the
MCU
here
for a while.
here's here's the galaxy brain theory I think all of us would be down for. What if
Fuck
the
you.
reason all those shows got canceled is because they're bringing them all to Endgame?
It's to what? You got cut out.
All right. No, I don't think so because let me tell you something. Luke Cage is going to be ripped in two.
What do you say? He got cut out for me.
Daredevil is also going to go blind again.
Let me finish. Let me reiterate what I said for Eric. So I was saying, what if the reason all those shows got canceled is so that they could bring them over to Endgame?
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's a good theory, but then again, like I said, Daredevil's going to be ripped in two. So is Luke Cage. Jessica Jones is definitely going to be ripped in two. Let's not even talk about Iron Fist. Like, Punisher isn't even super. He's going to get
The Punisher
killed.
just has to shoot. He just has to shoot the gauntlet.
No, it's not
to
about
shoot
the
the stones
gauntlet.
off.
Yeah, because a gun will kill Thanos, alright?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Listen. A gun killed Goku in the Revival of F movie.
Oh my god, yes, but it was a sniper, and it was directly at his heart.
That is exactly what Punisher is.
What if
That-
Galactus comes in and Punisher kills Galactus with like a pistol?
You know, they still haven't revealed the villain.
I mean,
of
Phoenix Wright
Endgame,
can beat up
so,
Galactus, though.
You know, I can't exactly hold out that Galactus is not going to be the villain for Endgame. Like, it might happen. They've done Galactus in the past with
I
the
feel
Silver
like it's
Surfer
not going to be
movie.
Galactus. That'd be a little ridiculous to have Galactus and Thanos in Endgame.
Well, no, there was a comic where like Galactus.
I don't think it'll
killed
be him
Thanos.
either. I don't think it'll be him either, but I will say that he is probably the only other villain bigger than Thanos that I can see coming to Earth and being a problem that Thanos would need to team up with them.
Here's my prediction. After credits scene, that's who they're gonna tease. Like, this is the next big bad that we're gonna build up for like the next 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
Slowly coming
Either
to our
that or they're
galaxy.
going to do a Secret Wars thing because if they're teasing the Skrulls already with Captain Marvel, they're absolutely going to do some sort of Secret Wars thing. Maybe they're going to rebuild the Secret Wars thing and have Galactus as being the person like in charge.
I mean, it could just end up being like one movie, like Captain America: Civil War, when they did the Civil War storyline, except they did it way better because it wasn't all that good in the first
This
place.
is something I do want to like talk about, like what, like, you know, the people that are leaving.
Man,
you know,
everyone is getting cut out so hard for me. I'm gonna leave the call and come back in.
Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America. All of them are gone already. Like, they're gonna leave after this movie. So I'm sitting here like, so who's left? Aren't they like core Avengers anyways? You know? Like that's something that I think is
Everyone is not here.
I mean, we know Black Widow isn't leaving because she has a movie coming up, right? We know
she's finally supposed to be getting a movie after a million years.
And we know, like, it wouldn't make sense for Hawkeye to leave if he's just going to come in as Ronin in this one movie, right? Captain Marvel's definitely not leaving. Her movie hasn't even come out yet.
She leaves before she even shows up. Bye, guys.
The Guardians are definitely not
I gotta go get a pedicure. I'll see y'all later. Have fun with
Nice.
Thanos.
I like that.
I knew you would. That's why I said pedicure.
But, like, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy might not be totally done yet. I don't even know what the hell's going on with that movie right now.
It's on hold.
Yeah, speaking of, did you guys hear that Will Smith is not playing Deadshot in James Gunn's new movie, Suicide Squad 2?
Well, from what I heard, the sequel is supposed to have like a whole new gang, so I'm not that surprised.
Yeah, but it's kind of weird because like everyone liked Will Smith as Deadshot, like that. Everyone thought like he was like the only good part of like one of the only good parts of that movie.
One of the only. I'll have you know, Academy Award-winning Suicide Squad had the best makeup that year. Don't look at Star Trek Beyond. I swear.
I was gonna reference that shit earlier when we were talking about bullshit Oscar award winners and how Suicide Squad got best makeup over that fucking
I
Star Trek
cannot
movie
fucking
with the
believe.
alien.
Seriously, I cannot fucking believe that Suicide Squad with Joker having damaged tattoo on his forehead won best makeup over Star Trek. Get the hell out of here.
It's
Which
kind of
literally
funny,
any
isn't it?
fucking cosplayer can replicate.
I can replicate it. I have a marker right here.
Where did they get a little me?
Do I get an Academy Award?
I guess you do. At this point, yes.
Fuck the Oscars.
So, speaking of Academy Awards, Fortnite is not doing great. Wait, speaking
has
of,
nothing
did you
to
guys
do with
hear?
Academy
Did you guys hear
Awards.
that DJ Khaled is hosting the fucking like Kids Choice Awards?
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
Another one.
another one. DJ Khaled.
But this is his first one.
That's what it'll say at the end when the award show
This
is
is my
over. He'll be
first
like,
one.
"I'm gonna come
No.
back." Another
Is it-
one.
Post credits teaser for next year.
Post
back for
credits
another-
for Kids Choice Awards.
I can't with this man.
Nick Fury. DJ Khaled, come back.
This
Oh,
man is something else, man. I'm telling you.
It's gonna be a shame that Ray won't come with us to see Heaven's Feel movie too, because I know he would absolutely make a Nick Fury joke even at the end of that one.
Oh,
I
no,
swear I
know
thought you were
he
gonna
would.
say that DJ Khaled was in Heaven's Feel.
Yeah, he's a big Fate fan.
Another
exactly.
one that I'm into.
Another servant. Another servant.
Another one. Yeah. I don't know. It's just kind of weird that like he is hosting it, and then I'm kind of curious to see like what what they're going to do. When like I'm sure they're going to make a tribute to SpongeBob. Like I'm sure they're going to do this whole Sweet Victory shit.
They have to.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
I honestly hope so.
And so it's
If
like
they didn't, that would be the most scummiest thing ever, considering that is literally their bread and butter.
yeah,
Also,
exactly.
can they please? I don't even watch the Kids' Choice Awards anymore, but can they please stop making it the cringiest shit ever? Because last year they literally had fucking emojis and shit like all over the
Oh
stage.
my god, yes. I
an
haven't
aesthetic.
even honestly I haven't watched the Kids Choice Awards in like fucking forever.
Yeah.
So this is like, I don't know, it's just
Yo,
really weird for me.
I can't wait for Just Dance to win Best Game again.
What? It won?
It wins every year, even though they have shit like Mario Kart and like all the Pokemon games.
Why?
I don't know.
I
Wow,
don't
thank
get
God I stopped watching the Kids' Choice Awards after, like, the Danny Phantom one.
Yeah.
Fuck the Kids' Choice Awards.
Fuck the Kids' Choice Awards. It doesn't roll off the tongue as well. I think Isaac's just dead now at this
Yeah.
point.
Well, sad.
He's still there, but his mic is muted. He probably fell asleep. I don't blame
Yeah.
him. We should probably go to sleep soon, too.
Yeah.
It's 3
But
a.m.
but I just want to go. So Fortnite. Right.
Oh, was that, Ray?
And the
How
reason
many more
I'm-
topics do you have planned?
No, this is the last one. We'll talk
We never
about
talked about
Movie.
Lego Movie
Yeah,
2,
I
so
was
I guess
gonna
we're going
say
to have to
we'll
save
talk
that
about-
again.
We'll talk about Lego Movie next
Alright.
time. But so Apex Legends came out at the beginning of last month, and Eric and I got a chance to play it a couple weeks ago, and we loved it. I've been playing a lot of it, and I really like it a lot. I don't know. I'm actually really surprised. I love it a lot, and
We need to talk about... Jeez. We need to talk about the Nintendo Direct eventually. Sorry
Yeah.
to keep going.
but
And
we
Pokemon.
Pokemon Direct now.
We went through this whole podcast, didn't talk about Pokemon.
Well,
Jeez.
for those of you, I won't go into detail, but for those of you that want to know, Pokemon Sword and Shield was announced, and it's lit. It's lit.
Oh no.
Sobble, best starter. Pitching my tent on the sad lizard. He wants to die. I've never related to a Pokemon before
Oh my god.
as much as this one.
I may be fly, but I want to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so I don't know. I'm really excited, honestly, for that, just because it looks good, and we'll talk more about it next time. But
I love that
you know,
Lawrence
More
was
detail.
like, "Hey guys, I don't. What's the region gonna be? I think it's gonna be on the UK." I'm like, Lawrence, it is the UK. What the fuck?
I
He
like
was
how
so
he's
inquisitive
speculating
about it.
after it was revealed.
yeah, no,
It's like,
I
Lawrence,
know.
they
It's
literally
literally,
showed off like basically
it's literally,
landmarks from the UK as well as football. I think it's the UK.
it's literally the UK's flipped upside down.
Yeah, yeah, but we'll talk about it more next time, and we'll also talk
I
about the
love the meme
Nintendo
going
Direct.
around of having the male and female Pokemon trainers for that gen talking in like thick accents.
Yeah,
It's
it was one was like Queen Elizabeth would like to battle.
oh my
The Queen
god,
of England is the champion.
would like to talk
It's just 6 corgis.
Yeah, that
Oh
was
my
it. It was 6
God.
corgis.
Yeah, but we played Apex Legends. It was really good.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm not really one for battle royale games all that much, but I enjoyed it from what I played.
Yeah, and honestly, like, it is different. It is very different because it has like, it's not like your typical like battle royale game. It has the battle royale formula, but then it has the Titanfall engine and stuff like that. It's really good. It's a first person shooter, and which is good because this is why I don't like Fortnite, because Fortnite's a third person, plus you have all that building shit. I don't get down with that. I'm sorry. But yeah.
Fortnite.
My nephews play so much Fortnite. They're like pros at it. And when I stare at them, I'm just like, what are they even doing? I don't understand.
Yeah, and like I played a little bit of Fortnite, but I just can't get with it, honestly. I really can't.
I don't mind Fortnite really. Like I'm not gonna be one of those people that hates on it just because it's so popular. I mean, it's a popular thing with the kids. Every
Yeah.
generation has that, where it's like the older kids are annoyed by it. It's like we had it too with I can't remember what it was. I don't know, maybe COD, but
Yeah.
like every generation has it, and it's not that it's harmless, honestly. And
Yeah,
hell,
yeah, of
like
course.
it's just so cringy when I see like adults complaining and like making fun of kids taking Fortnite dance classes. I'm like, at least they're being active.
Not to mention all the shit in the news where like they're using the latest video game trend as like something negative. Like,
Yeah.
oh, kids are
Personally,
spending too
like,
much time playing video
don't-
games. Aggression.
I personally don't care about like if people enjoy it, like if you enjoy it, that's good. I'm glad you do, like
I don't really think it's a bad game. It's just
it's
not for me. at
It's
least.
just not my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's just not my thing. I can't like I
mean,
can't do
you
it.
have to give Epic credit. At least they update it on like PUBG.
No, absolutely.
and it
yeah.
actually runs well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's exactly the reason why like like I appreciate the game. That's why I sometimes play it. And especially they had the Marshmallow event recently, which was actually really cool. Like honestly, I found that really interesting.
Can you imagine meeting your girl at the Marshmallow event in Fortnite?
Yeah. No, I was thinking actually Miranda Cosgrove because she's in that music video, Happier. She has braces on in that one. It's funny. You should go
She's
watch
wearing braces now?
Yeah, well, no, just in that video because it takes place in high school, and I think the
Oh.
point of I think it's supposed to be some sort of anti-bullying campaign.
Oh.
Yeah, go watch the video; it's pretty good. But yeah, so I think that was just really cool. They actually played that song last. But that's kind of my point, like there are things about Fortnite that I enjoy. I don't enjoy the gameplay, but I enjoy the little things that come out of it. Like there is actually surprisingly a lore to that is kind of interesting. I just don't know what it is, and I don't really care too much to know, but I know that it's interesting. And I know that I love me good lore when it comes to like video games, honestly. But yeah, I think that about does it for me for this episode. Next time, actually, we'll be doing.
Have you all played Tetris 99?
Oh, that's a good one. That's actually good.
Battle Royale game that came out of nowhere.
I still have to, but I gotta download it.
Yeah.
I've been playing it every once in a while, and it's really good.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
It's so hard.
You can't.
Everyone on that
I
game
don't know
feels
how-
like
yeah,
they're pros.
People play it on autopilot. I watched my friend recently who
Everyone's
played it,
on Ultra
and he's
Instinct
literally
mode.
just like dropping pieces everywhere, and I'm like, bruh, what the hell? How do you do that? I literally have to like plan out like where I'm dropping my piece. Like I can't do that. I can't like just
Yeah,
drop
and
it randomly.
I've
in a
seen
game like
videos from
this,
people like
you
Wumbo, and it's a completely different level.
Fucking yeah, I don't get it. I really don't. But it's a fun game, and I play it. I think I'm level 7 now, but like it's cool. It's fun to play every once in a
Level
while.
11 or something.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Best I've ever gotten in it is like is number 23 or something. I've never gotten first.
Yeah, no, I got in. The closest I've got was
Was
like-
what?
I think it was like somewhere like I think it was 6th place. That was probably the furthest I've gotten.
Wow.
And it was really shitty because then after that everyone targeted me. So, you know, really, 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 really crappy. But other than that, I mean, it's fun. It really is a fun game, but it is essentially a battle royale game with Tetris. But
Okay.
yeah, I think it's fun. But for next time, we're gonna be talking. I guess we're gonna be talking about a topic that Ray wanted to talk about. The Yu-Gi-Oh trading card game, digital versus physical. We'll be talking about that. I think it's a really cool topic. So if you guys need a chance to brush up on your Yu-Gi-Oh skills, now's the time to do it. If you want to, we will be talking about that next week. We're finally going to be reviewing Lego Movie 2 next week. As well, next week, Captain Marvel's out, so hopefully we'll have our non-spoilery...
We'll have our extensive review of Brie Larson's
our
toes.
non-spoilery review.
saw that coming.
We'll be talking about the Nintendo Direct and the Pokemon Direct. But I'm glad that you guys were able to stick through this. Actually, we are actually under the time that we did the last 2 times, which is surprising. But anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this. We love talking to you. We love talking to each other. We love hearing our thoughts on each other's like opinions and stuff like that. Despite me and Eric ranting about stuff that we that we love.
At least with you, it comes out of nowhere. At least with me, it's set up.
Yeah, no, with me it's like
Fucking
it's
joked
like
about Disney, and this guy goes into like a half-hour debate about the ethics
Yeah.
behind the entire company. I'm like, damn, dude.
it's like and it's like slams
Disney-
table.
Did
You know
Disney
what
kill
I
your
fucking
dog or
hate
something?
about Disney? Yeah. But anyways, guys, thank you for joining us this week. We will see you next week, and if you don't see us next week, then we will have a panel.
If you don't see us next week, then we're dead. We all
Okay.
died tragically.
We'll all have the panel. The panel actually, episode 13 will be coming out next week if we don't have a live episode for you. If not, then we'll probably, after Captain Marvel comes out and we watch it, we'll probably be taking a 1-week break so you guys can go watch the 13th.
I still need to talk about Fate at some point.
Oh yeah,
Keep
let me add
forgetting
that
about
to the let me add that to the list for now. But yeah, so next week we'll probably have 1 episode, take a week break or so. So Ray can get out the 13th episode, so that you guys can chew on that for a little bit, and then after that we'll come back and we'll give you a spoiler review with spoilers review of Captain Marvel and where we are in the MCU and everything else, and kind of just update you with life at that point, because it's going to be already mid-March, and I think a lot of things are going to be different by then already. So anyways, guys, it is March 1st. Happy March to everybody. My name is Royal Dude Lorenzo. I am the Blue Squid here on the Inkling Brothers podcast.
My name is Ray, also known as Meatloaf Man. I am the Purple Squid on the Inkling Bros podcast. I'm assuming he's asleep now, so I'm
No,
just
he's
going to
here.
shout
He's
out.
here.
Oh
here.
my god.
Okay.
Yes,
we're ending it.
Go ahead.
Go.
I know.
Go.
All right, good night.
Do your
Say your
proper
outro.
Red Squid, good night.
It's Isaac the Red Squid.
And alright, Miss Fritz, I'm about to head out. Peace.
Miss Fizzle. You mean Miss Frizzy? Miss Fizzle? Miss Fizzle. Is it?
Miss what?
Frizzle.
Eric,
Wrap
bye.
up the fucking.
That's Eric.
Jesus.
It's 3:13 a.m. Have a good
Yeah,
night,
for real.
everybody.
We need to
love
stop
you.
doing
All
this
right,
so
we'll
wait.
see.
late.
We'll
Seriously.
see y'all
Yo,
in
yo,
in.
This is just like
In
what
another
we
form of
literally
therapy.
fucking posted in the messenger chat. We literally posted some shit that said 3:12 a.m. It's 3:13.
Oh my god, I did. All right, everybody,
Yo,
have
go
a good
to the
night. We love
messenger
you.
chat.
We
It's
love
there.
you.
Let me see what it says. 3:28.
Oh my god.
3:28 a.m. The fuck?
We love you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night.
All right, yeah, we
We love
really
you,
need to stop
everybody.
doing these so
We'll see
late.
you we'll see you probably
After we
if
fuck
Isaac
up.
if Isaac doesn't kill me. All right, everybody. We'll see you in
Yo,
therapy.
people
Good night,
coming
guys.
to work
Bye.
tomorrow with
Bye,
guns.
everyone. We love you.
Bye.
Good night. Bye.